to let our people know who you ignorantly call God and his only begotten Son, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, is coming back to save their people, okay, who consist of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the confusion of faces that are born of that fatherland through the seed, okay? This word in this Bible isn't for everybody, all right? We're gonna start off with that message and also to let you know that these are the end times that the Bible speaks of, that great tribulation and death and mourning will come upon the earth. Start first by giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash.
Double honor to the apostles at the great millstone. Greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect and those that give their life's diligence and freedom to earn their salvation. Shalom unto you. All right, for the rest of you that are asleep, spiritually asleep, and that don't care and that don't understand what time we're living in, I got a rude awakening for you. These earthquakes and different natural disasters that have been happening are signs from the Heavenly Father that He's about to send His Son back to the earth.
That's right.
Prophesied in the Bible. And when He comes, don't think He's coming to rescue you from these natural disasters. He's coming to rescue His only, His chosen, His elect out of the nation of Israel, who are those same Negro, Latino, Native Americans. Not everybody, as the false prophet, the church will tell you. All right? Let's start with that one.
It's Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is time to awake out of sleep.
Now is the time to wake up spiritually. It's not that you're zombies or you're asleep in the bed and you're resting and you're dreaming. That's not what this is talking about. It's talking about you're spiritually asleep. You can't see what's going on. You don't see, like, you got all this NBA and LeBron James and who else was that just Kawhi Leonard and all these people that's being moved around. The NFL about to start, and the All-Star baseball game. All this stuff is going on, but you people don't realize that World War III is about to start.
Yeah.
That the first shots have been fired already, and now they're negotiating on the terms that they're going to fight this war and what's at stake in this war. But what they don't even know is that the Heavenly Father is setting this whole thing up to use this as a moment to judge the whole world and to rescue His people and put them back in rulership on the earth. All right? And if you're not awoke, and if you're not paying attention to what's really going on in the earth, the Lord is going to kill you, and He's going to put the rest of you heathen in the captivity to serve His elect, to build back up His nation.
I got a break for you.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Amos chapter 3 and 1. For behold, in those days, and at that time, I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. I will also gather all nations, and I will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Yeah, He's going to bring all the nations onto the valley of Jehoshaphat. What's that? That's that Middle East region.
Joel, Salaki, what I said?
Joel, right?
Amos.
Amos, Salaki.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that was something.
Yeah.
He brought everybody into that region over in the Middle East, where everybody's gathering up, and whether if you look at it, all types of aircraft carriers and different armies are assembling over there in the land of Jehoshaphat, or that Middle East region. Why? Because that's what the last place that the so-called white man doesn't truly own. And so he wants that because there's a lot of resources still in that area. But guess what? He's not gonna fully get to fulfill his enterprise over there. He thinks he's gonna go over there and take over the world, then China think they gonna defeat America, and Russia think they're going to defeat America, and one of them kingdoms is going to rule the world from that point on. That's not what's about to happen. Because right when all of the major fighting and everything is happening, the Lord is going to come back in the chariots of Israel and judge the world and set the righteous back on top of the earth. The underdog who you never thought had a chance. You same so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. All right? Go ahead, bro.
And will plead with them for my people and my heritage, Israel.
Somebody please look up that word, plead.
Heritage. Heritage?
Plead. Yeah. I want to see what that word plead means.
Plead in Webster's?
No.
Blue letter?
Blue letter, Bible Patrol. See what that word means. Because you guys always, when you ask the Webster Dictionary plead is like, oh, please let them go. And that's the same sentiment that you have for this guy that they call Jesus Christ. And he's all nice and he's all soft-spoken and all of that. That's not what's going to happen. You got something to go right now?
Bleed. Shabbat.
Shabbat, judge.
To judge, govern, vindicate, punish.
Wait. Read those again?
To judge, to govern, vindicate.
Govern means to rule over. Okay? Keep going.
Vindicate,
Punish. He's going to plead and punish and vindicate and judge all the people from, matter of fact, get Isaiah, I think is it 55?
Got a scripture real quick.
Go ahead.
It's Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with the chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
That was
right.
the one I wanted, 66. I knew it was a double number.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many. He's not coming back to give high fives and here, ride on my rainbows and my clouds, all soft on cloud 9. That's not what he's coming back for.
The Lord judges nations as a whole.
That's right. And finally, at this time, he's not going to judge our nation as a whole. Because the 2/3 of our own people are so damn wicked, our nation would never have a chance to make it if it went by the merit of the whole nation or the highest percentage of the nation. So that's why there's a remnant or an elect that's now able to make it pursuant to the second covenant, which is really an extension of the first covenant. That was it on that, right? You have more?
Back in Joel 3 and 2, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
And the people are scattered, our people are scattered throughout all the nations on the earth. Our people are so scattered that we're still on the bottom, but we're so scattered throughout all the nations of the earth that we look like those other nations as well. Well, guess what? They get to come back and be a part of the commonwealth of the nation of Israel. They get to be in the people that are known to be Israelites. They get to be joined back unto them. Not one least grain, shall fall upon the earth or fall away from the commonwealth of Israel. Okay?
And I'm gonna say this: and those that are scattered amongst the other nations, the only ones that's gonna return back to the fold are the ones that's gonna wake up by the word.
Right.
All right, because the Spirit bear witness with our spirit that we're the sons of the Most High.
Right.
So those Israelites that are scattered amongst these other nations and even took on that look because of the mingling and the mixing, they're gonna be able to come in through their faith and belief in this word that they're hearing that's coming from the men of the Lord, man.
Yeah, let's not act like every confusion of face Israelite is gonna make it.
Yeah.
Okay, they gotta die too, but they'll come back as Israelites though. But the elect that are among those confusion of faces are scattered amongst those other nations that look like the other nations, following the customs of the other nations, they get to come back and be a part of this on this side. They get to make it. All right?
Yeah, it's time for you being in Israel to put that carnal nature off.
Yeah.
It's all you niggas that have a gripe with us teaching that you're gonna have Israelites that look like the other nations. That's because you niggas are carnal, man.
You're not spiritual, man, because it ain't about skin color. That's the thing that you niggas can't get around. It ain't about being black or white or Chinese or Japanese. It's about the spirit. All right, it's the spirit. The truth says the spirit quickened it. All right, we came to this truth because we were quickened with the spirit, not because we all black or we all Hispanic or whatever.
What's wrong with all Salaki, bro? What's wrong with all these high entertaining ass niggas? These so-called conscious niggas. They so-called black. Why don't they wake the hell up? Because it's not meant for everybody to wake up. It's only meant for the chosen to wake up.
The way you treat the Latino camps, the Latino brothers and sisters, and the Native American brothers and sisters, is how you really should be treating them black unconscious niggas, man. They're really bugged out. Them niggas are straight up heathens, man. The philosophies that they're into. You got guys like Nature Boy who justifies pedophilia, man.
Yeah.
You know, that nigga's a straight up Gentile, man. Then you got Hispanic brothers that actually put their life on the line getting this word out. All it is really is prophecy, because the Lord said He would break the brotherhood between Judah and Ephraim, and that's why the breach is starting to be patched up. All right, the Lord is bridging that gap through the teaching, through the gospel. And now, you're seeing Judah and Israel come together. Now, Judah shall not vex Ephraim, and Ephraim shall not envy Judah. that bullshit beef and you know your negative experiences that you had with the other tribes, don't use that as your emotional ploy to create doctrines to sow discord amongst Israel, man.
Right. Hey, that's part of the old man. Let all the shit happen to that old man go away, man. Even if they still look at you in a certain way, that don't mean that you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to now have a renewed spirit within you and understand, oh, that man's still under the curse. He's still asleep. Go ahead, bro.
Northern and Southern Kingdom. This is Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 18. In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers.
Showing you that both the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom are here in America.
North America, Babylon.
All 12 tribes are here in the States, man.
Yeah. And this is where they were oppressed together at.
Yep.
That's how you know we're the same people, because when the southern kingdom was over in the land of Africa and still scattered throughout the old world, the eastern world over there, and the northern kingdom had already been over here for hundreds of years already. Guess what? That's when they came to they was already thousands actually, right? But once they came over here, that's how you know that they were the same people. Because when the slave ships came, they didn't know that they was going to be the same people mingling together. Yeah. That this was going to fulfill the prophecy that they would be oppressed together. But then to really prove it to you people in your mind today, why we share the same hoods, the same ghettos, and if it ain't the same direct ghetto, it's next door. It's still the worst parts of the cities.
Hey, bro, you got Harlem, you got Spanish Harlem.
Right, thank you. Say no more, right? Say no more. All right? That's just plain what it is. Do you have more on that one?
That was going to
be it, right?
Yeah.
You got something else?
No, I actually got that.
So let's go back to it.
Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And not knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Part of waking up out of that sleep is like we were just mentioning. You can't look at your fellow brother under our forefathers as an enemy anymore. That same curse, you got to put that off from within you. Okay, there's a curse that literally said that your eyes gonna be evil towards your brother. Okay, you got to put those things away and stop looking at each other with them same generational curses that have been passed down since before us. Okay, the Negro and the Hispanics hating each other, the Dominicans and who was that? The Puerto Ricans or the Levi and them.
Levi.
They can't be hating each other like that.
Yeah,
Simeon, the Dominicans and the Haitians, y'all can't be hating each other. Y'all share an island, and that's a prophecy between you. Okay, those things were written there, but it also shows who you truly are. All right, that we're the same people, and that the Heavenly Father, we're all the children under the Heavenly Father. Go ahead.
For now,
Salaki, bro, my bad. For now, high time that you wake out of sleep. Another angle of that.
Bro, Salaki, I got a
Go with it.
This is Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 31. It says, "Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice.
That's right.
And be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, as the Most High, for Yahushai's sake, have forgiven you."
And just because the Bible describes who you call Jesus Christ, his real name is Yahushai, as a so-called black man, or very dark man, you tell me why there's Latinos that's just as dark as he was. You tell me why there's Native Americans that's just as dark as he was, and vice versa. People just as light, just the same. So you can't go by the flesh of the skin. You got to go by the spirit that's in a man. That's right. And it's even easier now because it has to be the spirit of righteousness, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You don't have to go by if he got flavor or he's well trained and having that hip hop flavor or whatever, that black culture flavor. You got to go by the spirit of righteousness within that man. That's the real true moniker to know what it is. You got it?
2 Corinthians 10 and 7.
I need to start at the top.
Start at the top. I want to get the main point. I'll jump back to the top. Let me get this main point. This is 2 Corinthians 10 verse 7. It says, "Do you look on things after the outward appearance? If any man trust in himself that he is Hamashiach's, let him of himself think this again, that as he is Hamashiach's, even so are we Hamashiach's."
Yep. Breaking down to you that whole Gentile idea. Okay, those confusion of face idea, those that you don't think are Israelites and may not look like the textbook version of an Israelite, the APB description of an Israelite, right? But there are brothers too. Why? Because they believe they're in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua.
That's right.
That's the easy way to know.
Hey, and let me put this disclaimer out there, man.
That might not be the one I was thinking.
Con. Just to make a point, because we know a lot of people, they disagree when we use that term, confusion of faces. Because you go to Daniel, I think it's the 9th chapter, the 7th verse. It says, "Unto this day belongeth to us confusion of face." When you look up that word confusion, it means shame. Because why was Jacob ashamed? Because they were basically they were naked. They were in complete idolatry, given unto uncleanness, man, of idols. So they were ashamed, man. They were in the lowest state. The Most High was jacking Israel up. You know, so we'll use that. You know, and brothers that have an issue like, well, don't it mean that? Why are y'all using that to say that Israelites look like the other nations? Well, if you can't receive that, then there's a scripture that say that our heritage is unto us like a speckled bird.
That's right. That's Jeremiah 17.
And really, that's more permissible to use. You know, if you don't want to use the term confusion of face, there's no problem with that, because actually, correctly, you're actually right. Confusion does mean shame. But you still can't ignore that Israel was mingled among the heathen. So we did took upon that look. All right? You gotta accept that, man.
Right. Hey, when I first, and this is my own testimony about it, when I first heard that the Latino tribes and the Native American tribes, and I thought I'm a Native American, or a Gadite, if you will. But I thought I was a so-called Negro. When I found out that they were part of this thing, I literally jumped out my chair in front of the computer and was like, yeah, and high-fived my cousin. Like, that's right. I know this is the truth now. I know it. I get chills now. I never had a doubt. Once I knew that, this is it. And I saw the power of that name also.
And when the brother quoted Jeremiah 12:9, mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. When you look at that word speckled in the blue letter, the interlinear, it's H6641, and it says sabuya. It says colored, variegated, speckled. It says to be dyed, basically having a bunch of colors. You know.
That's exactly what it means. Variegated, it means many hues.
Exactly.
Many colors.
Exactly. And when you look into just something extra, if you go to Israel, or Israel's national bird, it's called a hoopoe, Hoopoe, and all the colors of the bird are different derivatives of brown.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Hey, what's that? Hosea? You got it? Get that.
It's Hosea 7 and 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. Strangers have devoured his strength.
And how did that happen? When Ephraim got conquered by they got conquered back then, but I'm talking about later on during the colonial period, when the beasts came over here and colonized the Americas. They took down Ephraim, they took down Issachar, all the different tribes, and they were raping their women. So that changed their color. Now a lot of them that came through that line, you had those that were tares, they were Spaniard Edomites. But then you also had once they started to intermingle, and then, they accepted Christianity or whatever, then women was even marrying with the indigenous men of those lands, and they were having children as well, just like here in slavery with the Negroes.
Exactly.
Where you had the slave master raping the so-called black women and having tares, mulattoes. You also had, which they tried to hide in history, you had Edomite women marrying Jake men and having babies with Jake.
That's right, bro.
And they were having light-skinned babies, man. Yeah. Okay. So hey, and we're gonna know at the end, because the angel's gonna do the reaping. That's right. They're gonna be sifted. It's gonna be separated who's of the line of Israel and who isn't. Yep. We just putting out the word, man.
Yep.
And the elect is gonna be the ones that's gonna be real in. Right. Okay. But hey, going back to the scripture, Ephraim is a cake not turned because he mixed himself with the people. clown come on the comment board. I don't know what video it was, where he basically tried to say, well, yeah, Ephraim is a cake not turned. The cake is not flipped on one side, so that means that it's just dark. So that means all of Ephraim is dark. But it said he mixed himself among the people. Yeah. How you gonna mix among these nations and still be fully dark, man?
Hey,
bro, and
if
even
you've ever met
go ahead, bro, go ahead.
If you've ever met a Puerto Rican or been around a vast number of Puerto Ricans, some of them darker than these brothers. And some of them lighter than all of these.
And it said cake not turning, meaning one side gonna be dark, one side gonna be light.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they got both extremes among the tribe of people.
Go ahead.
As far as color goes. Who was reading?
Hosea 7 and 8. Ephraim, he had mixed himself amongst the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. Strangers have devoured his strength, and he knoweth it not. Yea, gray hairs are here, and they are upon him, and he knoweth not.
So we have mixed the people, and I'm gonna say this too. We're not supposed to marry the heathen. We're not supposed to marry the heathen women. We're not supposed to take them for wives, but we could take them for concubines, which are secondary wives. That's law. But we're not telling you that you're supposed to go and walk the aisle and have her family with your family partying together, drinking punch and taking toast, for them to live happily ever after, till death do them apart. No, man. That privilege goes to the Israelite woman.
That's right.
But that doesn't negate that if a man was to put his seed in another nation woman, that seed will come out being an Israelite.
Bro.
Okay?
First Ezra, chapter 8, and verse 68. Now when these things were done, rulers came unto me and said, the nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollutions of the Gentiles.
Yeah, that's how they mixed themselves among the people, and that's what the warning was about. Because when, like King Solomon, when you took upon the other nation's wives, she would be able to turn your heart back to her beliefs, away from your own God and your own beliefs, which would pollute you from being holy amongst the heathen nations. Yeah, bro.
To wit of the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, and the Moabites, Egyptians, and Edomites. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land.
And the holy seed, the men took on the wives of those other nations and mingled the seed with the, what did it say? How did it say it? And mingled the holy seed
with the strange people of the land.
With the strange people of the land. Okay?
Further
diluting the looks of our people.
Yeah, but
okay, if you will, making them diluting it with the looks of the other heathen nations. But you can't go by that alone. You have to go by the spirit that's within somebody. Okay, that's how you truly know, and it's easy when they're in a righteous state. If they're coming on to Yahweh Shemiah Shah and on truth and sincerity, then that's an easy way for you to know. That's not a regular heathen. That's an Israelite in his spirit. Okay, according to his father line in flesh. All right, and you have to be able to let all those things go, grow up from that mind state when you wake out of sleep.
Hey, and if I may say real quick, just to give clarification on that term, mingle. When you go to Ezra in the 9th chapter, it talks about how our holy seed mingled with the other nations. When you look it up in the Hebrew, the Hebrew word is irab, and it means to intermix technically, to traffic as if by barter, also to give, to be security as kind of exchange, engage, intermeddle. Okay? It says to give pledges. Jump down, it says to exchange, mortgage, engage, occupy, undertake for, give pledges, be or become surety, take on pledge, give in pledge, to have fellowship with,
have fellowship with him.
All right.
How can we have fellowship if we don't? How can two walk together unless they be agreed?
Yeah. So basically, going back to the law where it says, and make no covenant with them. When you make a covenant, that means you're making an agreement, you're making a pact with somebody. That means that y'all cordial. Y'all have business together. You know? So the Most High didn't really want us to intermingle because it would be a stumbling block to us. And basically, it's like we would have our guards down, and that would give these nations advantage of taking us down. They'll get the upper hand, and that's what will always happen.
That's what, and the history shows that that's what always happens.
It even happens among the heathen nations, man. Where every time you had dynasties fighting against each other, one way how they would it would be a way how they would use their daughters to marry in to the other side just so they could get Ptolemaic Empire version of the Seleucid Empire.
Persians and the Medes, they did that also.
Yeah, that was in that movie. They showed that in the movie, that second movie.
Where they get the daughter to marry the young king, and and they do it as like a gift. You take my daughter in marriage. At the end of the day, the daughter's manipulating all his thoughts and playing on his emotions. To go to the damn, what was that story I read where it's in the scripture too where
well, basically,
go ahead.
But basically, we would use her as a weapon to go in and fight internally with that other side of the battle. Okay, making it look like it's a peace offering, but really it's a war.
It's a war strategy.
Esther. That's what Esther did.
It's really to supplant you.
Yeah,
to supplant you.
Esther did that for Israel. So who was that was giving Israel hell? This damn Edomite, I think. Haman. Yeah, and they hung his ass on the gallows.
Yeah.
Him and his family.
Yeah. I got a quick piece real quick. This is dealing with Bernice, which was she was the daughter of Ptolemy II. Philadelphia, right? This is how Esau did. So even Esau understands that when you can use women to actually get the advantage over other people, man.
Bro,
Game of Thrones.
Look what Esau did to us without women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says Berenice, daughter of Ptolemy II, Philadelphus, and Arsinoe of the first of Egypt. She was married to the Seleucid ruler Antiochus II Theos, supplanting his first wife, Laodice, whose children she persuaded him to bar from the succession to the throne in favor of her own. Laodice, however, persuaded Antiochus to come to Ephesus in Asia Minor, where he died in 246, perhaps a victim of her intrigues. The former queen then ordered her partisans to kill Berenice and her children, who had taken refuge at Daphne near Antioch in Syria. Near Antioch in Syria. Aroused by the murder of Ptolemy III Euergetes, Berenice's brother launched a successful war, the Third Syrian War, against Laodice and her son Seleucus II. Alright, so you can use women as a tactical war. So that's why the Lord gave that commandment for us to not take on their daughters and not to give, our sons to their daughters, man.
You know how Samson got taken down? By either woman? Right. So really dealing with her.
Until the Philistine woman.
Yeah, until she finally broke him down and figured out what the secret to his power.
Delilah.
Yeah.
And another account that I just read in the history, you can read about this in Daniel 11th chapter, man. That's how they was doing it, man. So that gives you an idea of why the Most High said not to intermingle with it. It didn't mean necessarily if the seed, if you plant your seed in one of them, then that Israelite, that's not an Israelite no more. That's not what that's saying.
Kind.
That's not what that's talking about. you put your seed in that woman, but she's subdued, just like Ruth, and she want to dwell with you, then hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
But you keep her at arm's distance, though.
Yep.
Keep her. Talk about that rule. Now your children are your children. They live with you. But that woman, that concubine woman that you laid seed in, you still gotta keep her at arm's distance. Because a lot of them, you can see it in today's time. A lot of women will do. Hey, in gang culture, the same things was done to take over territory, to now make a connection with her drug buyer and to the drug sellers and drug dealers of the other, you know. It's a war tactic. Okay? Y'all have something now? Let's go back to work. Start at the top of 11. But you gotta be able to grow up from all those old man ways, man. Wake up out of the sleep of that, because this world is who told you that you divide everybody like a color a box of crayons, man.
Worldly ideologies.
Yep. The worldly ideologies that pushed out by the so-called white man who rules the earth today. But him as the purest and white, and you the worst and black and brown is the next darkest color in the crayon box, all the way up. You know, according to him at the top. Well, that ain't the real truth of this thing. The real truth of it, you gotta grow up and understand. You gotta look in the spirit of somebody, and then see the goodness within them, that person, according to the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. The heathen not gonna have them.
Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
And if you don't see all these natural disasters that's happening and don't understand that this is a major time in the earth, that the Lord is about to come back and rescue his people from this captivity called America and certain other places of the earth, then you're dead asleep. If you don't feel the sting of being a captive slave in this place, then you're dead asleep. And the proof of that is how the police treat you versus treating a regular heathen and an Edomite. There's three differences of how everybody's treated. Two of those people get to go home with no worries. One of those people can cuss the cop out and take that job from the cop. But what do we have to deal with? When a cop comes in and pulls us over for any simple thing, our life is at risk at that moment. Okay? That proves that you're a captive slave in this captivity. You know, in this land over here. That he can kill you, and you got to worry about what's going to happen tomorrow if you make it through this situation. Go ahead, bro.
Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
We're still in captivity. Yeah, the Emancipation Proclamation went forth, but you don't even fully understand what that was about. It wasn't about freeing you so you could be a free man upon the earth. It was freeing you from the southern rulership into the northern rulership.
From the private
owner to the
corporation.
Corporate owners.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the abolishment of slavery at all.
No.
All it was just they had a big fight because the Northern Union states, they saw that the South was thriving from free slave labor of agriculture, and it was generating so much wealth and revenue. So they coveted after that labor. So they went to war to try to act like they're freeing them slaves, but really just so they can come over there and be slaves to the corporations.
During the Industrial Revolution, they wanted workers to fill them factories. Who better than the slaves? Because you're tricking the minds of the slaves to making them believe they're free and they're useful benefit to society. They're accepted in this country and in this world.
A transfer of ownership.
Just a transfer of ownership. Now and today you're still, yet this day in your captivity, you're still a slave today. If you don't know that as a fact, then you're still asleep. You need to wake the hell up.
Hey, don't get permission from this devil to go lead us to fly out the country.
Right.
You go take your flight over to London, England. You go over to the Bahamas or wherever in the world. Don't go and get a passport.
Then see how free you are.
Then see how free you really are.
You're gonna be stuck in customs. We're talking about customs, right? keep you in custody until they figure out who you are.
Or better yet, get married.
Yeah.
That's another way you know you're a slave.
Yep.
Get married.
Hey, have children. Another way that you know that you're born into captivity. That Social Security day, because they don't like you to leave the hospital without signing a birth certificate and coming around to give you a Social Security number, which is your prison ID number in another sense.
You don't even gotta really fill out no papers. They just send you that stuff. Like before you had to go down to the office, they send you that stuff off the back. Social Security number and all that.
As soon as the baby's born, there's somebody that comes around, a nice old lady that come in there and got you signing paper.
You like stamped, like
A brand.
like a slave.
That mark is now what?
Like how they do cattle. That's why they call you Goyim. You know how you brand the cattle on the side, so your cattle, you know which ones is who?
Yeah, exactly right. So you gotta wake the hell up, man, because this is the beginning of, you said yesterday, right? This is the beginning, the end of the beginning of the, how about you said, the beginning of the end of the end? You know? It's the beginning of the end times that's about to be translated to a new rulership. And it's gotta come with catastrophic power, man. It's gotta come with that to translate this rulership into the next. Okay, and during that time is when our salvation will come. All right, and it's nearer than when we believe. The truth of it is, you can look up in the sky and see all kinds of UFO sightings. Look it up on the internet. There's all kinds of people are witnessing these UFO sightings. But they're really the chariots of Israel, which will be the vehicles that rescue the elect of Israel.
Chariots ain't no joke. I was watching a video where chariot went through a cloud and they had to slow it down 16 times.
Oh, kind.
Just to get the catch.
I did a video on something like that yesterday too. Every time there's a natural disaster or occurrence, chariots is always right, really, like literally within in the mix, man. And they were showing you how they showed an aerial view of that hurricane. I think it was Hurricane Barbara or something like that. But it was going on while that solar eclipse was happening. But what they was marveling at was how they saw a bunch of black dots all over the clouds, and they recognized that those are so-called UFOs. Those chariots were making that hurricane, man. You know. So hey, man, the angels is there, man.
That's how close our salvation is.
No, go ahead.
But that's how close our salvation is. We're at the door of it right now. Hey, the Lord is at the door, literally at the door, knocking, trying to wake you up to answer the door, so he can come in with what's up. But if you don't wake up and hear the knock at the door, which we're a sign of the knock at the door right now. Us out here on the streets all over the world, warning you about the times to come, waking up our people, fishing for the elect. That's how you know that we're right here at the door. Because right before every kingdom went down, the men of the Lord were always on the streets warning you about what was to come. And those that take heed had an opportunity to make it. And those that didn't, hey, this is the one where our nation makes it into the next situation, becomes the hierarchy of rulership in the next life to come. Yeah? No.
He's done with that? No. I got some if he's done.
Go back with that one.
Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse.
Yep, for a reproach and a curse. Okay, this is punishment that we're scattered. We don't know who we are. It's a punishment that we're still yet this day in our captivity. Even if you do look like a so-called Edomite, which the Edomites are in rulership now, you still are under the curses. You're still dealing with it. I don't care if you're Jay-Z or any of these top elite so-called black people in the earth, you're still under the same curses. You're still in captivity. You think he don't have to answer to somebody? There's always somebody for Jake to have to answer to. All right, we wrap that up.
And to be subject to payments.
And that's how you know, but we still got to make payments. Don't make your payment and see how free you are. Don't make your payment and try to stay in your house and see what happens, how long that lasts. It won't last forever, okay?
Hey.
There's somebody gonna come and with force to remove you or remove what you got in your possession to take it back from you.
Hey, Wesley Snipes agree with that scripture.
Oh yeah.
we are subject to payments. What did he went to prison for?
Tax evasion.
Tax evasion, man. Don't pay your taxes and see if you're really free, if you're really living like you say you are.
And the elder Malcolm was going into it. The taxes are
It's illegal.
it's illegal.
Even by Americans.
Because he gets wages.
Earnings.
Like corporations, they get earnings. You know, MGM or one of these big hotels, they get earnings. We just get wages. We're supposed to get paid every day after our shift. You know, but we living in this wicked ass society where all these unrighteous decrees take place. You people still sleep. You don't question these things. Or damn, why am I getting taxed so much? You know, why are they taking this out from my check? They just be happy to get the little money they get. Yeah. You work a 40-hour week and you only get paid really for 30 hours.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. It's fucked up. That way, we're subject to payments. You go with you.
I gotta go into the law real quick since the brother mentioned it. This is Deuteronomy. Salaki. I'm just trying to get to it. Salaki, I thought I had it. It was basically dealing with what you said, because you're not supposed to oppress your workers. You're supposed to pay them. You can't let a day go by. You got, when the sun goes down, you got to pay them. You got to give them your wage, man.
An honest wage too.
Yeah, an honest wage.
Yeah,
something that they actually agree upon.
Yeah.
That kind of talks about that parable of the penny, of the
workers.
The workers with the penny. Say, hey man, just because he only worked a couple hours and you worked all day, you agree to the penny, they agree to a penny too. Everybody get their wage. You getting yours, why you worry about how much you get? Okay, but the point is, it's the wage that you agree to. Okay, but we don't have a choice to go into to go get a job and say, nah, I don't want $10 an hour. I want $23 an hour for the same job that you're gonna pay me 10. That's what I want. I won't do it unless that. They be like, next.
Yep.
Next. And at some point, somebody gonna agree to $9. Somebody gonna agree to $9.
Deuteronomy chapter 24 and verse 15. It says, "At his day thou shalt give him his hire."
At the day thou shalt give him his hire. What he earned, what he worked for, what he agreed to.
I'll start at verse 14. It says, "Thou shalt not oppress an hired servant that is poor and needy."
So when you stall a man out from paying him, whether it's 2 weeks, whether it's, I get your money to you tomorrow or whatever else, you fucking up, man. You breaking the law.
Or like a Jake they know you need money, but they're gonna give you a lower wage just because they know you need it.
Yep.
You know?
You don't have a lot of options.
You don't have like a Jake getting out of jail or prison. They don't got a lot of options. So this Edomite, and a lot of the time it's our own people that's the hiring managers that do this stuff.
Yep.
They say, well, this is all I can pay you, take it or leave it.
Yep.
And Jake just got out of prison or whatever. He ain't got no choice. You know? It's a messed up cycle that our people are in, and if you're not spiritual, you're just gonna continue to fall into this wicked ass cycle.
No.
Well, you had it, bro.
No, but if you ain't woke, you're gonna still be in the middle of it. Good morning.
And this is what we gotta suffer. This isn't our law, man.
Yeah.
You know, this should really actually vex you, Jay. How do you say that you're free? But according to our law, we're not supposed to. We're supposed to get paid at the end of every day of each job that we do. You know, a lot of you Jays can't even say that, man. You get paid bi-weekly, or if you work like warehouse or something like that, you get paid every week. And those of you that's working, getting paid based off a salary, you get one big lump, but you can run out of that easily, man.
Oh yeah. Because they know Jake don't know how to budget their money.
Exactly.
You know, they gonna first week they gonna spend all of it in just like they do with the damn EBT. You know, they get it and they spend it in the first damn day. They don't have no food, have food for a week and a half, don't have no food for the rest of the month.
It says, "Thou shalt not oppress an hired servant that is poor and needy, whether he be of thy brethren or of thy strangers that are in thy land within thy gates. At his day thou shalt give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor, and set of his heart upon it, lest he cry against thee unto the Lord, and it be sent unto thee. You know?
You just totally have to backtrack.
Ezekiel chapter 22 and verse 29. The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery.
And that's what they do. We just talked about taxes is robbery. That they make us wait 2 weeks or make us wait beyond the sun going down to pay us our wage. Okay, that's thievery, robbery, and oppression, man.
2 weeks is enough time for you to miss out on your utilities.
Oh man, you be out your house.
Eviction.
Yeah, food don't last long like that. 2 weeks.
You still reading, right, bro? Yeah. I gotta pray after that.
The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery, and have vexed the poor and needy.
And have vexed the poor and needy. Hey, just I just thought about what you had. Yeah.
Child support.
Yeah.
Jake he's getting washed dry, man. Squeezed, man. You know, the government, the court is putting sanctions on his checks. You know what I'm saying? Over his baby mama, just to supply her to freak off and go to the club and shake her funky ass, man.
See, the government
she's living a certain life.
Yeah, the government get part of that money because you got to pay them and they pay her.
Yeah.
So I don't think they ain't dipping in that money.
They off top getting the cut. The same way if you marry your woman according to the state, if that divorce happens and they declare alimony on you, the state off top is getting it cut. You know?
One of my coworkers was telling me the other day, he pays $2,500 in child support, and he just got a court order saying that he has to pay around $900 for medical expenses. So sum that up. That's he was almost crying.
3,400.
Yeah, that shit would break you down,
He
man.
was almost crying.
Yeah. How many checks make that much in the first place?
He said his check was like $300 after everything was paid.
And then they expect you to survive off that.
Right.
You can't even get a damn studio apartment for $600 a month.
A room
Yeah.
for $300.
See, shit like that is why I just read it.
Yep.
The vexation, the oppression of the poor, it'll cause them to cry out of the bitterness of their heart to the Most High, man. And the Most High hears that cry, man. Like he
cried in his own.
I'm sure. If he knew the truth, he'd send up curses, man. He'd be sending up the curses on his devil, man. That's straight up oppression.
Okay, God,
Just real quick. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. And that's the point. When you realize how deep of oppression that this man has you in, and how your woman is playing along with it, and then they put the kids involved in it, and then society at large is involved in it, and you fucked up.
when you realize that everybody and everything in the society is against you, except for the obviously the brotherhood and everybody outside, you know what I mean? You become extremely mad.
Imagine Jake that don't have the truth.
Yeah.
Jake that don't have the truth. How do you do it? How do you do it?
Yeah, what's that?
What do you have? We have the scriptures for better things to come for us.
See, that's why when people say, why you guys always angry, why you always so mad, obviously they're not wise.
Yeah, exactly.
And really you love this world. You love the scriptures talk about how Jacob, how Israel they love oppression, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because you love oppression. You know? And the Most High is gonna eat, hey, Jake, man. You really love this shit, man.
It's Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
And this is an unrighteous decree. The things we named are unrighteous decrees. Making us wait to get paid, making us pay child support. Hey, if you really want to stop black men from just popping women and leaving them, give them the kids. Do that. And everybody be happy. She can go freak out and woman's enterprise, that'll stop. That'll stop that. But you want that whole oppression system to be working through her. But that's your police dog. That's who you send in first to make sure everything is under control. And if she can't control it, then you come in with your big guns. We know we're not ignorant to Satan's devices. We know how you get there. Okay, a lot of us have been victims to that same pit or that same system. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievous which they have prescribed.
Well, that grievousness is the co-worker you were talking about that in private was probably crying his eyes out about how oppressed he's being, not only by his woman but by the state at large, by the country at large. This shit hurts when you find out. And that was the one thing, child support and alimony was the one reason why I never got married when I was in the world. Like but then I'm stuck with this woman forever because I don't want to fall into those things. So I'm stuck with her forever. What if she changed or something crazy happens to her? I don't love her no more.
You could be treating your wife good, everything could be all right. You know, you thought everything was all right. She wake up one morning on the wrong side of the bed and say, you know what, fuck you. I'm leaving you and I'm taking the kids. See you in court. What choice do you have?
A lot of entertainers go through that. Literally, they come back from doing a movie or an album or a tour or whatever, and their wife got their shit back.
Athletes, you know?
Athletes come back from a road trip or something.
Look at my man from Amazon. His wife, he was with his wife,
bro.
and you know she was down with him, and you know he built the company up where it was at, and I'm pretty sure it was all his thought, all his hard work. You know, she just stayed with him. She probably had a little bit of money, but when she hit the fan, hey, when the shit got big, she cut ties. She got $35 billion and cashed out, and she's off.
It's like the stock market, right? Up, time to sell. Cash out now.
This whole society is a curse, one big curse to our people. You know, and if you ain't got the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you continue to fall subject to it, and it's gonna eventually destroy you. Like it's destroyed our people as a whole now.
And if you think about the big, we don't just finish reading that, but when you think about the big picture of how this society works, and you don't want to leave it, you know how sleep you gotta be to not want to accept this life and to look for better. I'm gonna just find a better woman. There ain't no better women that ain't tied into this system. That, like the brother said, she wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and now she just got a wild hair up her ass to oppress you further. She realized that Eddie Murphy joke from the movie Raw. He said she going and telling the girl, "Did you know that you could get half?" He's like, "But I met you with a bone. When you had a bone in your nose, you wasn't nothing when I met you. And now you can get half my shit."
Man,
it's ridiculous.
This society makes you appreciate the law of the Most High so much, man. You look at the injustices and how everything is going, how it's unfair, man. You know, and it causes a lot of heartache. It causes a lot of stress. You know, it brings a lot of Jake's spirits down, man. And you Jakes, y'all want to still be here, man. And then you complain about the law. You got a problem with the law. This law would take you out of this hell, man. If Esau was to actually implement the laws of these scriptures, you know how much in harmony you would be, man? You would be stress-free.
Taking away the connection back to the Most High, just living in the earth would be so much better. You think about it. If you knew that that if you pop the woman, you gotta take care of that woman forever, you wouldn't do it. You would be real selective about who you chose to lay with.
If these niggas, anybody that rape people, you knew that if you rape this woman, you have to give her father a certain amount of money, and you gotta take care of her for the rest of your life.
No matter how good or bad she is. She's yours.
That's righteous. Let me finish this. This is back in Isaiah 10:2. To turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people.
How does he turn aside the needy from judgment? By giving them properly what they want, what they need to make themselves whole or balanced again. Oh, okay, so instead of giving you your kids and letting you keep your money and take care of your kids, let that woman go free, like the law says, I'm gonna let her get the money where she don't have to work no more. She can continue freaking off with the next Tom, Dick, and Hank, and Harry, and whoever the hell else, you know, and then still hold that over your head. Well, I moved to a higher price state, I'm gonna need more money.
Because at the end of
And
the day,
that's an argument that can really happen in court. You know what I'm saying?
at the end of the day, because if she goes and freaks off, she's the one that's filthy.
Yep,
You're not filthy.
yep.
You know,
According to
according to righteousness.
Yep. Yep.
That the window may be their prey.
Widows, yeah.
The widows, like you. Widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless.
Yeah, so the kids grow up not knowing, you know, what's really going on. They don't realize that they're being robbed. How are they being robbed? Because they don't have a connection
male.
to the Most High no more. Because they're not with the father. That's why a lot of times this court system will give it to the mother. Not because the dad don't want to succumb to take care of the children, because they don't want to succumb to the oppression that the woman in the system has over them. So they fall victim to the system in a deeper level. And it's a fucked up cycle, man.
Yep.
And if you're dead asleep, if you don't realize how much oppression, and we're just talking about a small angle dealing with women, a small angle dealing with women. Okay, a small angle. There's a whole plethora of the rest of life that oppresses you still. This book and the spirit of this book is the only thing that you got comforted, and it's shared between the brotherhood. You got it, right?
I got something. This is Sirach chapter 34 and verse 21. It says, the bread of the needy is their life. He that defraudeth him thereof is a man of blood.
Yeah, man of blood, he's trying to kill you, man. If he's not gonna give you what you need, the bread of life that you truly need, if he keeps you away from this word, if he keeps you away from your money, that helps to sustain your livelihood, he's trying to kill you. That's an act of violence against you.
That's part of this world.
Yeah.
This system.
Yeah.
This system is, you know, because the sword is a killing instrument. And what does the system do to the Israelites? It kills your spirit.
Yeah.
You know, you got to go to work every day just to give your money to 55% of your money.
Yeah.
You know, really 30% of your money to the Esau, and the other 40% to your woman for child support or alimony, whatever, and you go home with a measly 27% when you didn't work 80 hours on a pay period. That kills your spirit. That's like the brother said, that's anguish and grief. You got anxiety. You man, it's a lot of Jakes that die early from heart attack and you know, stuff like that.
That's what I was gonna lend right into.
Alcoholism.
Right?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that literally. So what do you gotta do to feel all right about to shower up and go to work the next day? You gotta do all kinds of drugs and drinking and all kinds of other extreme things of fun.
Get high all
You know,
the damn time.
trying to get away from that thought of oppression. You know, so what do? You do all those things, and then you gird up your loins again, go to work and repeat, live, die, repeat, right? But really, there's no life in that. No life in this system. There's no life that we're living in this captivity. This is hell for a reason. Okay? Because we went against the Most High.
I got some more though.
Yeah, you got more.
Verse 22. He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him.
Yep.
And he that defraudeth the labor of his hire is a bloodshedder.
Esau is a bloodshedder, man. Since he, what was that in Numbers 35? He that Ezekiel 35, because you
Soon his brother with his sword.
yeah,
blood shall pursue thee.
35. Yeah, 35.
This means perpetual hatred. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and shut the children of Israel by the blood of the sword, blood shall pursue thee.
That's it.
Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5.
What's up, brother? No, we're recording ourselves.
Not for Facebook, just my own.
No, just check us out on YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, you have to look up on YouTube.
I'm not driving, my friend. I'm not driving.
No, that's good.
All right.
Go ahead, bro.
Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword.
Part, like the brother said, a part of the sword is oppression and
It's government
government system. Okay, he sheds your blood by defrauding you your money. He's robbing you with that. You know, he's not giving you what the proper prescription to make you whole. He continues to oppress you deeper and deeper. Shalom, bro.
Okay, so what's the name? I'm looking up on YouTube.
GMS, Abad, Sin City.
AH, BAD,
I'm sorry.
GMS,
There go.
AH, BAD, Sin City.
Because thou hast sat in perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword.
And it shows he has a perpetual hatred by shedding our blood, not just by killing us and shooting us down, but also by the way he works his system, which kills us. Okay?
In the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee.
Now, blood is going to pursue you. Now, that's a comforting thing if you don't believe in the scripture. You know, the Bible and the true spirit of it, how would you ever have a comfort to what this man is doing to you in his system? Because he said, because he kills you in various ways, I'm going to kill him in various ways and free you. Okay? That's a comfort unto us. Here is the faith and the patience of the saints. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. Okay? Those are things that have to happen. Those are comforts unto the prophets and the servants, the saints, man. Without those things, without the Bible saying those things, that's why the church don't read it to you. That's another form of their oppression against you. You know, they don't want you to know that there's a day that they're going to pay for all that they've done to us. Okay, according to the Heavenly Father's wrath. Because they went with that heavenly type wrath, or satanic wrath, if you will, you know, to the highest level to oppression.
Yeah, and that's why the Most High is gonna have us get vengeance on this devil. Because if we don't do nothing against him, then if let's say the Most High have Esau, you know, stop, you know, shut everything down and release us and stop oppressing us, and we would just dwell peacefully by ourselves without having to intermingle with them, to do any business with them, and have no dealings at all with these people. You better believe if we dwell by ourselves, like separate, segregated from them, Esau will find a way to come back and sabotage that, man.
Hey, Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Prime example. We were thriving separate from this damn devil. 1921, they called the riot of 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But really, they went in there and slaughtered up all Jakes, man. The whole black community, black life that they was building over there.
Yeah,
that was thriving more than the white cities were thriving.
Then they bombed it.
They bombed it too. No one talks about that.
It was so many different communities that Jake was flourishing in, that was very self-sufficient. You know, they had their own businesses. They even was creating banks. Jake was doing it all. And
Airports,
doctors' offices, all that, man.
Yeah.
And Esau would come in there and start a riot and burn the place down. And have Jake, you know, basically fleeing out of their own towns, man.
And if you didn't know, Esau is a so-called white man. I hadn't said that yet today. He's a so-called white man according to his wicked ass spirit of him and his forefather, Esau or Edom in the Bible.
Yeah.
Okay, just so you can now put a face to the wicked or the devil or Satan or the Edomites, man, so you can know who that truly is.
Yeah, and he's the devil, man, and he has a perfect hatred for you tribes, man.
That's right.
Yep. You could be cordial with him, or you could stand to live separate. You could get out of his way, not be nowhere near him, and he's still gonna, through his hatred, he's still gonna find a way to vex you, man, to harass you.
Right.
You know, find a way to overthrow you, man. You know, so that's why it makes sense that we gotta put them in captivity. We gotta do to them what they've done to us, man. Because if we don't, they gonna continue to have their foot up on our necks, man.
They're gonna try to find a way to get out of the captivity that they'll be in and get freedom to oppress us back again.
Yeah.
And then in the kingdom of heaven, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
This is their last hurrah. Right now, this is it. That's why you see them skydiving, doing all kinds of crazy shit in this life right now, splurging and whatever else they're doing. But also, on another level, they're also arming and getting ready to gun you down. Okay, so you need to wake the hell up. This devil's coming for you as well. Somebody get Revelation 12.
12 and 12.
Yep.
Hey, you got a question?
Who's they?
Well, to answer the day question, it's the Edomites. That's who really runs. Matter of fact, get Job 9 and 24. Read that. The wicked, which are the Edomites of the Bible, or Esau, I know, I'm explaining to you. They're the so-called white man on the earth today. That's who it is. But you can't only go by skin color, okay? But them that have that natural spirit from their forefather, the wicked man Esau himself, that follow Mount Tabor down. That's the thing. That's who secretly run the country with the Illuminati and all of that. That's them that run that.
They're meant to be wicked.
All of that.
They're destined to be wicked.
Yes.
They're meant to be that way.
Yes. Ask the next question. There's one more question you should ask.
So you're supposed to fight them?
Yes. But there's another question. Why?
Why?
You gotta ask why.
Why?
The why is because the Heavenly Father has before that Proverbs.
Psalms chapter 58, verse 3.
Go answer.
The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Yep.
They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
They immediately are born to be wicked. Somebody get that in Proverbs 16 real quick before. Because the why is the Heavenly Father has purposed everything for himself. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Proverbs 16 and 4. The Lord hath made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
Because he wants this to happen.
How can you be mad at them if they're destined?
Because they still did it. And the Heavenly Father's mad at them. The one in Malachi you're talking about.
From the moment they're a baby, they're destined to be that way.
Yes.
How can you be upset at them?
How could you not? Because they're still being wicked.
Wasn't there a chance you would be born as one of
Oh,
them?
they had the Bible. They had the Bible. So they didn't follow all of those commandments from the Bible. It can't. They took the Bible in their mouth and say, oh, the Bible is the rock of America. You know, it's totally hypocritical.
I just find it
They
interesting.
destroy the earth. They destroy people's minds. So
They weren't clueless to the word. They misused the word. They spoke
Right.
things and terms with the word of God.
Exactly right.
you gotta hate this stuff.
It's not that they didn't have a choice, but they did have a choice.
You're
They
saying
chose.
it's destined. How can they have free will if it's destined? If
No
it's
one has
meant to be that way.
But destiny or not, they didn't have to take that Bible to do it. They didn't have to do that.
God
But
says He's trying to give us, show His Son that we have a free choice like He did. We're vulnerable.
there was no free choice about it.
Let me get it.
It's just one question. If they are destined to be that way, you're taking that free will away from them. You can't be mad at whatever they do.
There is no free will.
You know what? No.
I see what
He's
saying.
actually right.
You know what he's saying?
Why get mad at the devil for being the devil?
Right.
The Most High created him to be the perfect devil. He's playing his part.
Got it.
It just so happened that we have to take the blunt end of his nature, you know, with all the things that he did in history against these people. That's where the resentment comes from.
Right.
That's where the hate
And we
comes
just
from.
read it. We just read it in Ezekiel 35.
All we're doing is exposing. We're telling the world this who the Bible is calling, this
That's
who
fighting
the
in
world
this
calls
right
the so-called white man. His biblical name is Esau Edom. He's done all the wickedness in the world. We're just exposing. We're just putting it out there because he'll tell you he's a upstanding citizen. He's tell you, you know, he's a good guy. He's a God-fearing man.
Romans 9 and 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
That's God's words. That's his words. He hated Esau. And he also told us in the Bible, love the good and hate the evil.
Yeah, come on.
Okay? As well as
I got something.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Sirach 33 and verse 13. It says, as the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as like of him best. Good is set against evil and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another.
Good versus evil.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be that way. That's the balance.
That's balance.
But I understood what you meant when you saying that.
Like, how
But-
could we get angry at him for being
Right.
who
Who he's supposed to be?
The other thing too is, are you spreading love by doing this, or are you
Yes,
spreading hate?
we're spreading love by doing this.
What is love according to the scriptures?
But let me ask you a question. But I'm gonna answer it first. Then that's a good question also. But we're spreading love because we're spreading love to these people from God. That's who need it.
All
Nobody
I
else
heard
needs
walking
it.
by was they this, they that, they this, they
Okay.
that. How is that?
That's all you heard.
Yeah, how long were you?
Walk by for a few seconds. That's what you happen to pick up. We've been out here for
You're
hours.
talking to you.
I got something real quick. Let me read this.
Hotep.
So, no, not that. Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end.
Read that.
I know. He don't want to hear it now, though. Hey, bro.
That's your website. I'm sorry.
You know, that's cool, but I'm just saying I want to give him a second to hear this.
I'm sorry.
You're right here in the front
up,
lines,
good?
man. You got a question you got to ask right now.
Yeah. We'll answer it. We'll give you the same information we gave you.
Where y'all from?
Manitoba, Canada.
Canada?
Okay? The point that I was trying to make is, I'm going to read the scripture again, okay? Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood. And blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast hated blood, hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So that, and somebody get Revelation 13 and 9 and 10. It's just righteous balance.
It's Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword.
It's fair and balanced. Two wrongs do make it right. It makes it even.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. We know that's in the Bible, right?
You said about love. I'm gonna read the scripture for you. This is second John.
What is it?
1 and 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment that as ye have heard from the beginning. So the commandments is following love is following the commandments. And who are the commandments given to? The 10 commandments, laws, statutes, and commandments are given to these people.
The Israelites, according to the Bible.
They weren't given to the world.
How does it work if you use scripture to try to convince someone or label someone as being fake?
Yeah.
If they don't even believe in scripture.
We're not trying to convince.
It's not, like I said, it's not for the whole world. It's only for these people. It's only for these people. They're not out here for the elected these people.
We didn't ask anybody to stop up here. You guys stopped on your own.
So,
and we're just pushing
okay,
the message whether you
okay.
stopped or not.
So you're
The
saying
message of the Bible.
you're saying some races are okay, some are not.
No,
some are
this
just down.
race is good.
This is a whole nation.
Also, when it says God is confusing.
This is a nation of people. And these are 12 tribes from the nation.
We're not all equal.
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Second
Absolutely
Edges.
not.
In the eyes of God.
No.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
No. Con.
It's the scriptures. Second Ezra chapter.
It's all the same.
This
No.
is Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 54. And after these, Adam, also whom thou madest Lord of all creatures, of him come we all.
They're probably gonna walk up the street after this.
Con.
And the people whom thou hast chosen. So, like I just was saying, the Lord has chosen these people right here. So we all come from Adam, and the Lord has chosen within the people that come from Adam.
We all
Right?
come from Adam, aren't we all brothers?
Listen, it said, and the people whom I have chosen.
That was separation right there from everybody else.
All this I have spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou hast made the world for our sakes. As for the other people which come from Adam, thou hast said they are nothing, but but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. So you understand what that means?
It's a body.
Yeah, let me get Deuteronomy.
Vessel is like a body, isn't it?
Let me get Deuteronomy.
Like say this is a vessel right here, and if I got water, and if I just drop a little bit, I'm not gonna trip on that. That's what the Most High thinks about the other nations. Outside of
I'm just gonna say one thing. I want to get going.
What about the ancient?
It just seems to me like you guys are literally preaching discrimination, literally preaching segregation, which is so
You know what? We are preaching
Considering-
segregation. You know why? Because that's what it means to be holy.
Kind.
What do it mean to be holy?
Yeah, what does holy mean? What does holy mean?
Do you know what that term means?
You're assuming you're correct.
Where?
You're segregating.
You guys are different than people that were here before, so don't show up.
You're right. Yeah. And you know what? The most
You guys are more talented,
called
more
God,
educated.
He's
You guys
what
are
do
like
you say,
angels, you know that.
So
he's a separatist. I'm going to read it to
You guys
you.
are angels. Just guys, people that were
For,
here before.
for
you know
thou
that.
or this is Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
I don't believe in scripture.
Yeah.
I can't.
If your angels went into all your bodies, but you're all
Hey, don't point at me.
What you believe in?
You can't have discourse together if I don't believe in your scripture.
No. Two walk together. What do you believe?
Hey, grab it, bro.
What do you believe?
I believe in peace. Coexistence.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Coexisting in peace.
Hey, let me leave you with this message. Let me leave you with this message. Let me leave you with this message. Let me leave this with you. Let me leave you with a message.
You guys pointed fingers.
Did you feel the earthquake the last? Did you feel those two earthquakes?
What message
Did you
were you
feel?
spreading here?
I'm gonna give you one right now. Did you feel those last two earthquakes? Yes or
We
no?
have a right to
That happened in California.
You're not giving me
Yes or
that
no? Did you feel the earthquakes? Yes or no?
Yes, I know about
You
it.
didn't feel them? Okay,
I know
well,
all
there are
about
two earthquakes that happened here. The whole earth has got to deal with what the Lord is going to do when He comes back. Regardless if you believe it or not.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read that.
It's Romans chapter 3 and 3.
Yeah,
For what if some did not believe? So that unbelief make the faith of the most high without effect?
Is it just because you don't believe that make it not real? Just because you didn't feel the earthquake, did it mean it didn't happen? You got to deal with that. Regardless, when He shows back up on the earth,
still
you got to
going
deal
down.
with it. You're going to have to deal with that.
He wants us to be living
Still
peace.
going down. And Canada.
He wants us to live in peace.
Canada going to
He wants us to coexist in peace.
No, I don't.
Hey,
So let me ask you-
Matthew 10 and 34. Just grab it, bro.
Destroy the earth, though.
Matthew 10 and 34.
We will destroy it. Fighting. We'll destroy each other. We'll destroy what is good. Keep it up.
Kind.
We got to show mercy. we gotta show
Gun.
mercy to each other and understanding.
This is Matthew 10 and 34. Think not that I come to send peace on the earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
He came not to send peace, but a sword.
Plain and simple.
He came not to send peace, but a sword. The one in Luke says he came not to send peace, but rather division. He's separating the sheep from the goats.
Kind.
No, the sheep were standing right here. We're the sheep. We're the sheep. You don't understand the analogy. You don't know the analogy.
The other one's hard. That's crazy.
Okay, bro.
Now he wants you to coexist as one.
No. So now that let me say this. So now that the Edomite rulership is pretty much over,
Hey, kind.
and white people are ruling in a high power. How come it wasn't for y'all to listen? How come it wasn't for y'all to live, coexist, and do all that stuff when you were all the way on top and we were way on the bottom, going through the stuff that we showed you on the side? How come that didn't happen then? Why does it have to happen now? Now that it's our turn.
Hey, bro,
You
bro,
gotta get paid back.
that's something of the devil, bro.
It's the
You
devil do that.
you pollute the earth, you pollute the water, you pollute the air, you pollute the food, the minds of the people. Then once all hell breaks loose, then you like, oh no, now we all need to come together.
Now we need
Now it's all our problem.
Yeah.
That's something only a devil would do,
Now
bro.
it's our responsibility to fix it.
Fine.
And you're the one that's ruling the earth. All right, yeah, it's gonna be peace. Once the Edomites are off the planet.
This is
Quick, Job 34:33. Should it be according to thy own mind? He will recompense it, whether thou refuse or whether thou choose.
That goes for him and them and him.
Bro, you could tell his spirit was off when he came up here, bro.
Question.
He might have been a little sugar.
That's the first year.
yeah, man.
So these are the different people, tribes, and
It's all one people. all come from one man.
I
All
know
these people come from one
Zebulun
man.
had his own tribe.
No.
It's not that son, Zebulun and Zebulun are two different.
No.
Zebulun is one person.
It
was one son.
Because in Jehovah's Witness Bible, all the scriptures, Zebulun was.
That's not holy. That's not higher or separate.
No, it's not higher, nothing. Like how they changed the firmament to whatever they changed it to, the separation or whatever from heaven and earth, instead of just calling it firmament. Okay. And Old Testament and New Age. But my brother's name is Zebulun from the Bible itself. In the Bible, my mom quoted, it said Z-E-B-U-L-U-N. This one says Z-E-B-U-L-O-N. And I'm like just as curious as to is that the original name before before the white man got his hands to it, started articulating, being meticulous, the curvature of his life. You know what I mean? Like,
I understand what you're saying.
Like, you just
don't
said that
give
the
him
white.
so much credit, though.
I got you.
Don't give that man so much credit.
I got you.
Because if it's the Most High God, He set things up to be the way it's supposed to be. And everybody else, matter of fact, get that in Proverbs 20 and 24. Okay? Because
I've only seen that name never spelled any other way, the O like that.
Right.
And I don't know if that comes from.
Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 20, 24. Man's goings are of the Lord.
No matter what anybody doing on the planet, God is the one that's making them do it or not do it. Go ahead.
How can a man then understand his own way?
Even the people that rule the planet today, they don't fully understand what's going on. If they did, they wouldn't be in that Middle East. Because that's the end of where they're gonna get wiped out and taken out of power from. They wouldn't have oppressed the apple of the Most High God's eye if they would have understood what was happening, if they were running things. But they're not. It's all according to the Most High God's will.
They chopping it up so they understand anyway.
And then they're going to pollute it and give it to us so we don't have the true view of it. They manipulate it. You can even read that Barbecue Shah, Big Z, in Romans, the 9th chapter.
I got a precept.
So bring what you got first.
Proverbs 19 and 21. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, thou shalt stand.
Yep, the counsel of the Lord stands. We make all kinds of plans all day about things that we want to do. But what happens is what the Heavenly Father wants to happen in our lives every day. You ever said, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do this and I'm going to go do that and I'm going to run over here and do this, and then none of that get done? Something totally different happens?
I always put that to the test too. That's how that happens. Whenever you speak into a business, it usually doesn't happen. It's what you would least expect. What you don't expect is how that happens.
What His will is to be. Okay? You got more in there? Go ahead.
Romans 9 and 12. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger.
Talking about Rebecca, and this is the prophecy that everybody that was given to the Rebecca about those children on how things should play out in the earth in the future times. Go ahead.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High?
Like the guy tried to ask the question, well, should we all come together, be as one, and coexist at this point? You had the opportunity to do that when your people were ruling high up above us. When you were, instead of hanging us, you could have set us right. But you didn't. Now that you're on your term, that you're about to get taken out of power, now you want to do that.
I was killed a couple days ago. I asked the police for help. They said I'm suffering from paranoia. And instead of taking me to the hospital to treat the stab wound that's in my back, they tried to indict me to a psych ward. They said I was being delusional. This just happened 2 days ago, man. It's kind of fucked up. I asked my dad for help, but he's schizo from Vietnam. I mean,
what did they say in Vietnam? Black men go home. This is not your war. They didn't want us to fight.
I have a stab wound in my back getting infected because the hospital wouldn't help me because the officer said that I need a psych evaluation. So they put me on a 72-hour hold, man. And then let me out the next day. Of course, I'm not fucking crazy. But nonetheless, I didn't get any help. My shoulder's still fractured 3 weeks ago when another group of guys jumped me, hit me on the chain. I said so much to the officer around the corner, they didn't believe me and sent me on my way. I'm saying instead of me, so I have an ID, which is in a police report, so I can catch a bus and go home to Ohio where I'm from. I've been stuck here since November 4th. It sucks.
Now that's it that you're here today, getting this word.
Yeah, I'm right here right now.
Because you may not have got it in Ohio. Not that the word ain't in Ohio, but it's for a reason that you're meant to come here and get it today. Because all that can change if the Most High wants it to change.
I drove here in a 2000 base convertible Mustang that the cops took from me and they put me in jail. Tried to make me a felon due to domestic strangulation. I thought domestic violence means beat your girl up. Nah, not here. Domestic violence means anybody you know. You know what I mean? So me and my brother Mike, I get out 2 days later, man. I kid you not, true story of my life. 2 days later, somebody tried to rob me. I defend myself, beat this white dude up trying to rob me, but a group of other white people jumped by and saw me beating him up and called the cops. Now when the cops came, I was like happy to see them. You know what I'm saying? Please help me. Because he got my shoes, my Versace shirt, and my Tommy Hilfiger backpack on. He's stealing from me. Little did I know he also had my knife in his pocket. All right, this man walked me up, touching my feet in my dad's house.
Hey, we all had fucking crazy motherfuckers fucking.
You see, like this. I went to jail and missed my court date to fight my brother.
Hey, brother, let me just say this.
I just lost everything.
Bro.
All right, all I'm saying is I lost everything, and I can't even get help by the police to identify who I am. I literally just stopped and asked a female lady right now. I understand the message you guys are putting out there, but do you know how it feels to be the individual who's being hated and scrutinized against, but non-believers looking at him saying, I don't believe what, listen to what this man just said. This just happened, this. You mean to tell me the police aren't helping you?
As they're talking about themselves, they're talking about us.
Man, look.
Everybody walked off.
That's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up. The devil's working hard to keep me here in Vegas. I want to go. I just had a son. I need to get back home to Ohio where I'm from. My girl's out there thinking that I'm out here fucking up because this is Vegas.
Do you ever think what you're doing that's causing the Most High to bring this hell upon you?
I did think like that, but nigga, I was like, nigga, 7-8 months. Why am I just not hearing about Christian community? But somebody finally listened to my word who was suffering too and said, hey man, you ever heard of this place? Go there, they'll help you. And I went there. And yeah, they will help you. You know what I'm saying? They house a bunch of people that actually need it. I have a home in the state of Ohio, nigga. I have my other truck in Ohio. I came here, they took my Mustang and half my fucking belongings, nigga. And they won't allow me to leave until a bicycle court date. Okay, I just got robbed 3 weeks ago. My arm is fractured, and this is what's left from when that nigga hit me in my car. I tried to make a police report, and they left. They didn't make the report, my nigga. They said I'm fucking tripping. They treated me like these crackheads out here.
Right before you showed up, we explained biblically all of this stuff. Man, I need you to finish reading that big thing.
In the
Romans 9 and 14. What shall we say then? Is there righteousness with the Most High? God forbid. For he says to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then is it not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that showeth mercy. For the scripture says unto Pharaoh, even for this time purpose, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
And it was declared throughout all the earth because everybody understood what happened in the time when we came out of the Egyptian captivity, and they feared the Most High, called him Al-Shaddai for all the things that he was doing unto the other nations and how much he was benefiting the children of Israel with his presence. Okay, because that was his chosen. Keep going.
Therefore, has he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will and whom he will harden.
Yep. And whom he will harden. Yep.
Thou wilt say then unto me, why does he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against Yahweh? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus?
How come I'm the one that gotta go through this? Why is it me that does? Because God wants you to go through certain things that he wants you to go through. It's a bigger purpose for him. You can't sit there and try to understand it. You gotta do your best in it, but the best understanding that you're gonna get out of it is out of this book. And that's also where you're gonna find the ways to please him out of this book. But the purpose of this scripture that I got him reading to show you that the Most High is working according to what he wants to do. And we can't even question what he's doing. We just have to be subject to whatever it is that he's doing. Keep reading that.
Verse 21. Has not the power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? What if the Most High is willing to show his wrath and to make his power known?
What if he's willing to show his wrath and make his power known? Because he's not really using it on a level that everybody understands what it is. An earthquake will make you remember that there's a higher power, that God has a power that can move the earth, not just move a car or get somebody to do something crazy. Demons can do that, but to move the earth and shake up and kill as many or as few as he wants. Keep going out. And I'm just using it in an earthquake. I mean, any natural disaster. Okay? Go ahead, right?
Endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory.
And may make known the mercy, the riches of his mercy that he already chosen afore to glory. And that's the purpose that we're out here, trying to wake those up to get that mercy, and then also to condemn those that's meant to get the wrath. But this is a fiery trial to get through this. So you got to wake up in a sense of knowing the time that we're living in. There's a lot going on, and the one person that can get you out of all the things that you're going through, or I don't want to say person, but the one power that can get you out of all the things you're going through is based in this book. His spirit is written in this book. And if you're not going to appease him, he's going to treat you like everybody else that don't believe. Okay, you're just going to be a vessel fitted for wrath and destruction versus the mercies, the riches of the mercy. And that's because we can't diagnose the situation that's going on inside of you. You have to fix that. But he's the comforter is who's going to help you fix that inside you. That's what's going to do it. We can't do it. The first step has been taken with you here. I can't say it was you that stepped here, but you're here for a reason. Now you have to take the next step regardless and see what happens if this is for you or not. Anybody got something? Did you want to read more? That's all I wanted. You got something?
Oh, you know what?
Matter of fact, go to
I got something.
okay, go what you got.
Because you say you catching hell, right?
The worst part is that nobody believes you. That's just the worst part. Around one line.
James chapter 1, verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
Yeah, you gotta be patient to deal with it. And you be like, damn, how many months, bro? How many years is it gonna take for us to get out of this situation we're in? Because in the kingdom of heaven, when you're in a righteous state, whether you get there as an elect with mercy or you get there after death by pain, however you get there, they're gonna believe you because you're gonna be speaking the true word of the Heavenly Father. And you're not gonna worry about that no more. All right? Where is it in James or is it, I think it's in First
What did I
Peter
do to put myself in this situation?
4. Huh?
Talk about what I'm going through.
It might not
Like,
be.
what did I do to put myself here to go through it? Kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. You got it.
Matthew chapter
How long y'all be doing
5, verse 45.
this? You know, how long do you do
That
this?
ye may,
on
that ye may be that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust.
Hey,
So
you got it.
So hey, just like the white man is the wicked, Most High made them rich. Made them to have anything they want.
You know,
They
like the
wicked.
shoe fits where. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't understand what you guys mean when you say white man.
Right.
People don't understand what you mean when you say white man. They speak into relevance to their culture, not into God's
actuality of
His purity in each person that came from Adam. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. They speak into
I know
their
what you're
own.
really speaking into what society deems. They don't understand the hierarchy of what we're talking about.
Most of what they learn in history. Well, that's crazy. I can see their faces when you say that when they're walking by.
The same disbelief that they have for you,
Yeah.
the same disbelief that they don't believe us coming out of this word.
Just like you say, you catch a hell, like everybody on earth catch hell.
I'm in hell on fire right now, man.
Even at least catch hell, man. They under health problems. What's the guy name? contract.
Chase and shot at him, but they got done. He got up and running. And they stabbed me in the back. They got up and instead of helping me, they tried to indict me to the psych ward. I don't think you guys understand exactly what I'm saying or how I feel as men.
Matthew 5 and 45. That ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven, for he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust.
Good and bad times happen to everybody, but it's happening more to us now because of the curses we're under for not obeying God.
Different kind of war you guys talk about fighting. Different kind of battle. There's people up here listening to, I guess, what they're taught on what they think the idea of war is, or whatever culture they claim to be. But nonetheless, I think it's a different war. It's more of a spiritual battle that you guys are talking about, right?
First. So the main war we're talking about is a spiritual war. There's also World War III that's a physical war that's preparing to play out as well. Okay? But we're talking on many levels.
I see.
You know, but the first level that we're trying to implore the people that walk, the Jakes that walk up here, the Israelites that walk up here, is to fight that spiritual war and win that one, so that you can be protected from that world's war.
Clearly, whatever religion he was from, his spirit was strong in his religion, his belief, right? That dude was not turned by the actual words at all.
Yeah, that's death too.
These words aren't different in any other Bible. He had a strong belief or whatever.
You read that already.
Yeah. One more time.
This is Romans chapter 3, verse 3.
This is for you, but this is, like I said, you're saying that you're upset that people don't believe you. And that's the thing that hurts the most.
That makes it the hardest because...
Forget about that. Forget about that,
man. It's rewritten my whole life right now. I just got shot at and stabbed. I made a police report. The officer on the phone showed me that report wasn't made. The report that was made was me being indicted to an emotional...
I got a question, bro. One second. You believe that this is the word of the Most High, right? You got to be ready to hear the words first. We out here teaching, bro. Like, let us bring it out and then let us break it down, and then you go. All right, so just let us get back to the script. Time.
Listen, bro. Let me say this, bro. See, these people here on the sign, we're in punishment. All this evil, this bad shit happening to us is because we ain't right with the Father. Right. He's in control over everything.
That's what the brother just read.
So, right now, if you want that wrath turned away from you, you gotta want to try to seek His best interest. You want to seek to please the Heavenly Father, man. The best way to do that, I'll give you a challenge. Start getting into that word. Start reading. Get into the scriptures. Seek the Most High. Pray. Send prayers to Him.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I did just start this last time I got put in jail for defending myself, but true story. But I didn't know that the Bible says if you're going to pray, pray like this. And there's literally a prayer in the Bible.
Full of prayer.
Yeah, the one that's Heavenly Father, thou shalt be done here on earth. That one right there.
That's the Lord's Prayer.
The Lord's Prayer, my nigga. I did not know that was in there. Yeah. Until just a few months ago as a 35-year-old man. Because I'm always praying like, God, please make this happen. Please help us. Shouldn't pray like that, it says. Because God already knows what you want. Right. I mean, that's why I pray like this.
But
that's
what
crazy.
What did it say earlier, actually later at the end of that same chapter? It says, if seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all these things shall be added unto you. You know you have need of all these things. The things that you need. You know you need to get back to your kids, to your wife or whatever, to your house. He knows you need to eat, that you need to be clothed and all of this other stuff. But you gotta seek Him and He'll add those things unto you. But you gotta seek His righteousness first.
In that prayer it says, give me my daily bread. That's just enough to get by. That's all we need. Every once in a while the Most High will throw you a bone, give you an extra, but
that's why. Hey, and that's why scriptures say, with bread therewith let us be content.
Yep. And not only content, but if we're doing right by God, He will bless us significantly.
Right, but we're still in captivity, so that significance can't happen just yet.
It can if you follow His law. Because the law, with the law, if we're following it correctly, we get blessed.
We can't follow the law 100% here in society.
Break one, you break them all.
I mean,
you break the least commandment, you break them all.
You can't put forth judgment. You know? People break the law, and then there's a specific judgment. Like some people break the law like in adultery. That's death. We can't put people to death in the society. We have to
Well, yeah, because Jesus was our sacrificial lamb.
So what does that mean, though? Does that
So we still abide by the law.
That means
but
Jesus
there's
died so
not
I can be the
death
scumbag I am
for
today.
breaking it, because through Christ we're saved.
Through Christ, right? That's why he says, you can't pray to regular God, you gotta pray to God through Jesus' name, right? It's not like they'll fall on deaf ears, but like, you know, God,
Yeah.
Yeah, he got it.
acknowledge his son in your first. That's how
Romans 31.
Jesus' name.
Romans chapter 6, verse 1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid.
Shall we continue in sin because grace abounds?
No, so that read that whole verse. Read all of that.
Romans 6 and 1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid.
What is sin? You know what sin is, right?
Correct, yeah.
What is sin?
Lawlessness.
Transgression of the law, right?
Lawlessness.
How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? Know ye not that so many of us as were baptized into Jesus Christ were baptized into his death? Therefore we are buried with him by baptism into death, that like as Christ was raised up from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also shall walk in newness of life.
So what does that mean?
So if we gotta take this whole Romans section in context of what Paul's talking about.
The Bible breaks it down, though, to be raised up and resurrected to the things, right?
Because Paul is talking, he's correcting these ultimately, I don't want to say the non-Hebrew, he's correcting them, saying, he's also correcting Peter in this situation too, because Peter was even on his disciples about the law. So what it comes down to is we should still be living by the law, or at least trying to live by the law. But when we fail, we're not getting those punishments of death, because Jesus was our sacrificial lamb. Jesus was that perfect sacrifice that covers all of us if we accept him.
You're right. But when we do fall short, we're supposed to ask for repentance, because we can't keep the law perfectly.
It's impossible to. It's impossible to.
Right.
But the intent should still be there, and the blessings will
Exactly.
come.
When he told the woman caught in the act of adultery, that he doesn't condemn her, but that he told her that basically to sin no more.
Women ain't supposed to even be able to talk.
Don't do this thing again, lest a more evil thing happens.
Again, that's all. That's the
They're not to speak
And that's one of the
during
things that the Christian church don't understand. They teach that the law is done away with. We ain't got to observe the law no more. We ain't got to keep it. All you got to do is just accept and believe and confess with your mouth, and you're saved, and you can just do what you want to do. That's not according to the Bible.
It's not scriptural.
facts, because we're not saved. Just, I mean, we are saved. Anybody that calls on Jesus' name will be saved. But we're judged by our works alone.
By our faith, which you have to have works.
You guys all reading from the same Bible? The same scripture, I mean?
Same Bible.
Oh, King James Version.
I got something.
Go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 3 and verse 3.
Are you reading this one?
About the don't believe to the other part where you were talking about faith and the law.
For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect?
Because the new way that we get salvation isn't by the law, it's by faith. Do you agree with that?
Right. But the misconception nowadays about the law was that it was just works. But when you look at all of these, famous people that come out of the Bible, you look at all of these prophets, Elijah, they all had to have some sort of faith to do what they were doing.
Hebrews 11 chapter, absolutely right.
They had to have some sort of faith. It wasn't all just, I'm going to do a sacrifice for this, new fruit, sacrifice. They had some sort of faith.
Right. Because we're saved by faith now, which is a gift. But let him read this real quick, because it addresses what you're talking about the law. Go ahead, and then we'll jump up.
Romans chapter 3 and verse 31. Do we then make void the law through faith? Most High forbid. Yet we establish the law.
So we believe that we're trying to establish the law, rehearse the righteous acts to the best of our ability. We do believe that. But the deeds of the law don't save you.
They don't.
Go up to the 20th verse.
20th verse?
Yeah.
Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight. For by the law
right now.
is the knowledge of sin. But now the righteousness of the Most High without the law is manifested.
Because some were able to have faith without knowing the law, because they weren't involved in the commonwealth of Israel. They were Israelite foreigners, if you will. Meaning they were Israelites that took on the looks and the customs of the nation that they were scattered in.
Being witnessed by the law and the prophets. Even the righteous.
You said that those famous men being justified by those famous men, right? We're talking about.
Even the righteousness of the Most High, which is by faith of Yahushua HaMashiach.
That's his real name, by the way, not Jesus Christ.
Unto all and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference.
Yep, there's no difference. You still get saved that way. And it's about the people that have the spirit that connects to that righteousness and that faith in our Lord and Savior, in the Most High God also. Okay, so we do establish the law, we keep the law, but it's not based upon your works in the law. But you still try to have those works to prove your faith. That's the point. So I just want to scripturally tie in what I thought you were trying to say, and if there wasn't what you were saying, to clear up what I wasn't sure that you were saying.
You know what the mark of the beast is? Sunday.
Mark of the beast.
Grab this up.
Revelation 13.
Guys. Oh. This is not the mark.
Hey, go into it, bro.
It says it's going to be in your hands and your mind.
Are you going to take it?
Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
No, stop. Listen. This is not the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast says it will be in your hands.
Right.
And then on your forehead. This is your works. This is your works and how you function. Your works and how you function. Because this has nothing biblically to do.
Whoa. Hey, bro.
RFID chips. What is that? How is this?
Are you going to
How was this?
Please answer my question.
I would never put a chip into myself, no, so they can track me, no.
So when they force you, and they starve you, and they torture you to take it, are you going to take it? You can't buy it or sell. You can read it.
Hey, go into the stuff.
I want to ask about the commandments, right? This is a commandment not to take this. So if you take it, you're going to be destroyed, man. You're not going to be saved.
But this is more of a spiritual, along the spiritual.
This is spiritual.
Mark of the beast will be in your hands and on your forehead. It says the mark of Yah will be in your hands and on your forehead. Listen to what I'm saying. So they're both on your hands. Who's going to give them? Who's going to give the mark? The beast will bestow the mark up. So he's spiritual. Who's
Right.
the beast? Who's the beast? Who do you guys believe the beast is?
Anything that leads.
Now we all have.
Real small ones, I think. Maybe some this one. On the other side of that one?
Oh, is
I can tell you who the beast's power is, not the beast, because the beast isn't here yet. The beast's power has been established.
You gotta go to Daniel 7. It's like a lot of
We do have to go to Daniel. So we do.
to identify the beast.
Just to narrow it down.
This particular beast is simultaneously or interchangeably, I should say, with the dragon, right? You agree that, right? What was the dragon?
The dragon is Satan. It's the ruler of this world.
Sure. Get Romans the 12th chapter.
Okay.
Let's get Romans 12.
Let's not use Romans. Let's use Revelation.
Not Romans. No, I was
that was a slip of the tongue. I meant Revelation. When I call for Revelation, I always say Romans. When I call for Revelation, I say Romans. Revelation 12.
Revelation 12. What does that say? That's talking about the battle.
Yeah, and I know directly at us. Looking at the truth in the distance, they're not going.
This is Revelation 12:1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun. Stop. Who's that woman? Clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. And upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
You know what that's called, right? 12 tribes.
And she being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns. And
7 heads and 10 horns.
And 7 crowns upon his head. And his tail
represents what? 10 people, right?
And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth.
The three stars, right? What is that talking about? What are the 3 stars that was cast down?
Talking about the Roman Church. How Rome cast down. So we're talking about
what the brother just read. Read that again.
Are we talking about the 3?
And the tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven.
The third part of stars of heaven. We just established that the 12 stars represent the 12 tribes of Jacob. It said that the tail drew down the third part of the stars from heaven. What is that talking about?
Different stars, isn't it? What did they say it drew the stars from the woman that they saw?
It's okay if you don't know.
Do you know the answer?
I'm asking you. If it was saying it was taking the three kingdoms out of Israel, would it say that specifically?
Basically what this is referring to is during this time period, this was during the Roman Empire. When Israel was still predominantly only had 3 tribes, which was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Levi were the priests, and they didn't have inheritance, so Judah consisted of all 3 of those tribes. That was the tribes that were left in the land serving under the Roman Empire. When you had the Romans that were actually ruling, the rest of the tribes they were scattered throughout the rest of the world. You had a lot of them, the majority of them, that came over here to this side of the world. So at that time, it was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi that were suffering oppression under the Roman Empire. That's what this is going into.
And did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered. For to deliver her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron.
What is that going into?
So,
what is that going?
The woman is still established with having her 12 stars. How are those 3 stars that were cast down in Israel? How are they Judah? The kingdom of Judah.
He said it because
So the woman is still established as the 12 tribes. How were those 3 cast down? The woman is Jacob.
The 12 stars represent the 12 tribes.
Correct.
So the 3 stars were cast down. They're referred to the 3 stars because they were still in the land.
The woman, ultimately, the woman is Israel. Ultimately, the woman is Israel.
When you read with the verse where the brother just read, he was referring to how Mary was getting ready to have the Lord.
The man-child.
And if you remember, Herod sent that decree out throughout all Judea to kill all of
2 years and
all the male children under 2 years of age because he was trying to get rid of the Messiah. That's what that's going into. So this particular dragon, that's the Roman Empire.
That's what the time that they were going into. That's the time that he was born within the rulership of the Roman Empire.
So guess what?
got
That
your
same
Assassin's
empire, when you read Daniel the 7th chapter,
So
it
who's
talks
the
about the
fourth
fourth beast, the Roman Empire. That's
So how
the
is
final beast. But guess what?
So
it resurfaced.
the dragon, but it talks about later out in Revelation that the dragon gives its power to the beast. So how is the Roman Empire going to give its power to the Roman Empire?
Basically, this system is just it's basically like a remodeled Roman Empire. It's like a replica of the ancient Roman system. That's why in
The system we're living in right now,
it's the Roman system.
it's not. It's the Babylonian system.
Where does the cynic come from? What empire does this?
Guys, we are living in a Babylonian.
What does it go back to? This is Babylon.
Right. There's also Rome. There's also Rome.
Sodom and Egypt.
Kind.
Also Nineveh.
That's Revelation 1 and 18.
America is Egypt, but the system we're living in is Babylonian.
And Rome. It's Rome too.
Rome is the fourth
So why?
beast.
So why would you go to
Satan is the
DC? So
dragon.
why do you go to DC? Why are there pillars just like in ancient Rome? Why are there pillars there?
But there's pillars
And you didn't
that were
answer
in
my
ancient
question.
Egypt.
You didn't answer my-
There
Yeah,
are
'cause
pillars
they
that were in
wouldn't-
ancient.
Because the same time period.
So
they
if
was
we
going
want to
over there
establish where it
also.
truly came from, because Rome would have then got it from Egypt. Rome would have then got it from Babylon.
When were those pillars in Egypt put there? When? You don't know, do you? Because when the white man, the same Romans, went over there, they built that up over there. That's why.
Kind.
So how can you say
This
that
is hearsay. It's
Romans?
hearsay.
It's history. Well, I just told you it's history.
Where does it say that in history that it specifically starts at Rome? Because we have to think about human nature in general.
Because the beast.
Human nature, we take things from other civilizations from as far back as like there's
He
things that are
named,
involved.
like 3 or 4 things. The Senate, the democracy,
Kind.
the whole way it's set up.
Democracy came
Yeah.
from Greeks. The Romans, I mean,
Roman
the
Empire.
Romans
Romans are
took a lot of
Edomites, just like the
stuff
Greeks are
from.
Edomites.
Kind.
The Romans took a lot of how they ran their stuff from the
It's the
Greeks.
same people. Same people.
Yeah,
Like,
that's-
themselves.
I mean,
With us in captivity.
So is that Anunnaki?
1 second, bro. 1 second.
I mean,
dragon,
they were
we're
all
establishing the
white,
dragon.
but they were different.
It's still Esau. It's still Edom.
Same seed line.
Same father.
I mean, just because they come from not Esau,
Who do they come from then? Who do they come from?
white people. You're saying white people came from Esau? Time out. Esau is Jacob's big brother. So you're telling me, us dark skin, us brothers right here, we all are related to this man.
Yeah.
We are not Esau. The Arabs are Esau.
He's our fraternal.
Where was Edom? Where was
Next to
Edom?
Judah. Right next to
Right
Judah.
below Judah.
Yeah,
So
we know where it's at.
there is
not in Arabia.
absolutely
God.
no way. There's absolutely no way.
Arabia.
There's no way because Esau looked like him.
What?
Right.
Bro, grab Genesis, Bible
Right.
Shop, bro. Let's get into it.
Like the earth. You guys are looking at the Bible and not looking at actual
I gotta ask you a
translations.
question. No.
Because it says clay. Right, like earthly clay.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. So is the so-called white man, is he white?
The so-called white
Is he
man,
white? Yes
the
or no?
so-called white
Yes or
man
no
is
question.
Japheth.
No, he's not. But anyway,
How
is
not?
the
How
so-called white man? Is the so-called white man white? Yes or no?
Let your ABA and your
white
name.
man. What
Is he white? Yes or no?
Yes.
He is. That's
Hold on.
close to the color.
I'm
White.
going to ask a question for you.
This is white.
If the so-called white man is Japhet,
Kind.
show me in prophecy where Japhet will be the last ruling class people on the world.
Okay, can I see your Bible?
You have a Bible, you can use your Bible.
Hey
Show
Siri.
me where Japhet is the.
Where
is
does
gonna
it
be
say in the
last
Bible
empire
that
ruled?
Japheth will be enlarged and lie and lie? Oh, so you said show a prophecy and there it is right
That's
there.
not no prophecy.
Japheth will be enlarged and lie in the tents of Shem. That's not a prophecy? If that's not a prophecy, I don't know what it is. My
I was
brother,
talking about the land that will be given to Japhet.
my brothers,
Japhet will be given the
my
land
brothers.
of Europe.
I understand.
So like
that
it,
white
bro.
people enslaved us. I understand that white people enslaved us.
So who's ruling the earth right now?
Satan.
Say no, but who's the physical counterpart? Who's the man ruling on earth right now? What nation of people?
What nation of people?
Right. Okay, so Job 9:24 says what? the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, right?
We out of the boundaries?
Okay, it just went on. It says
Change it,
the earth rule select it. Okay. Throw it.
Where's Job?
You hold it, bro, while he
Done, throw it.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time, and when shall the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And that word world is ions. With eons, which means age. So this is who's ruling this age currently right now. When you agree that we're towards the end, right? This is the end, right? So who's ruling right now?
I mean, we're not in the end times. We're in the latter days.
We in the end times. You see World War III about to pop off. You see, well, we
Wars
can't get
wars and rumors and wars, but that's just the start. We have not.
We've been in this verse since Yahweh Shai walked the earth. He prophesied the end times. At the beginning of the end times, and now we're in those end times. If you can't see that, man, you don't tell. You see uprising.
How often do you think end time would actually happen?
Okay, let me say. Okay, we're not in end times.
How often do you think end times actually happens in human civilization?
Because knowledge is being increased in last days. When's the last time you've seen? You wouldn't see people preaching the Bible in the 50s, in the 60s, all right? And not even as much in the 90s. But in the last time, what I said is,
Look at the end was in the physical say that they were in the that point.
Well, at that time, you even had, right before the Lord descended to heaven, it was actually inquiring whether he would restore the kingdom at that time. And he told him, no, it's not in you to know. You know, it's really, I don't even know. The Father only knows that. When he told them that these are the things that you're going to do in this time.
And
the Holy Spirit's going to come upon you. You're going to be a witness unto our people throughout Judea and into Samaria and othermost parts of the world, man. That time came, and if you
look at ancient Egypt, if you look at Africa, colonialism was happening. Would you say that Africans at that time thought it was end time?
Okay, I have a question for you then.
I'm saying the African continent during colonialization would say that it was the end time. Do you think that was the end time?
not necessarily.
Could we all, okay, by saying that, Dylan?
Time is infinite. The only thing that changes is rulership.
Correct. And then Dylan, so with what
really look at it, the rulership hasn't changed.
But then Dylan, so with what you're talking about, how don't we judge the
get Daniel 4 and 17?
And don't we judge time by prophecies too? Right?
All these white people are not Esau. The white people.
Not every single so-called white person we see is an Edomite. That's not what we're saying.
I would say it is the Arab in the color. It is. Because you think of this, Esau is Jacob's big brother. We haven't changed our identity in 2,000 years. In 2,000 years.
You know what the word Aishashua means?
What?
This is Genesis chapter 25 and 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment.
If I smack the white man right now,
what color you gonna
what color is the skin?
I knew you gonna say that. Like
it's
way back
obvious. I shouldn't have to ever say nothing like that.
Right, for real.
Red.
You never have to say
But
that.
when you look at the actual Hebrew translation,
when they get vitamin
red
D from
like
the sun,
the earthly clay.
The Hebrew word is
red like the. Okay, if we're gonna say red like that, they describe David the same way. Are we gonna say our ruling king?
You know,
Our ruling king like that?
What does ready mean?
Red? If we're gonna say red, in the actual translation, in the actual Hebrew, I'm not talking about the sick. I'm not talking about the 1611 Bible. I'm actually talking about the Hebrew translation. It's the same word that they use to describe this.
The reason why it says red here, the reason why it says red when Esau came out, because he actually came out when I was big. Roman scholars.
They were so-called Negroes, Israelites, scholars.
King James was an Israelite.
King James appointed these scholars for, I think, 10 years.
I got some facts.
We got history. We got the books.
You say James was a so-called black man. Ruled England,
Spain, Portugal,
Ireland, and they put
and France.
You guys want to have us take blame for a genocidal homosexual man?
No,
King James.
The Bible says that the same way.
King James. You guys have to look at the history of England.
Hold on.
Yeah, come.
Hold on. We gotta get the facts straight. That was actually that whole homosexual thing. That was a rumor.
Started by who,
It
bro?
was never a fact. It was a rumor. Who was it started by the way?
How do you know?
History.
How do you know what history?
So you guys just
You're
look
making, like,
on
no,
the internet. See, bro.
You can't do that. Hold on, bro.
Hey, we gotta go. We gotta go. You guys are still our brothers in Christ.
Hold on.
We gotta go. We gotta get to our hotel.
I just want to say,
No factual.
you can't be unreasonable. You can't be unreasonable. We're not gonna rest on one line of understanding, and it ain't ever gonna work. We bring up history. We all understand.
Okay. Him being a homosexual.
Thank you. Why would you bring it up?
I brought that up.
Where's that picture from? Where's the research?
This is from the Bible. They put this picture in the Bible.
Where's that?
King James, by grace of God, of England, Scotland, France, and Ireland.
Where's that from?
Where's the proof saying that he was on? Where's your proof?
This is all stuff
We can say the same thing.
came from the Catholic Church, though.
No, it went through the Catholic Church.
Okay, so the Catholic Church had an influence
On all the books. On all the books that came out.
What's your translation?
Well, I'm not saying don't use these books. I'm not saying don't use these books. Look at the actual Hebrew.
Look at the Hebrew.
Then you would see that
if you would know that word,
Wait,
the word that they use.
like Joshua, which means wasted away at sea because he had no pigment.
And then his name was changed to what? Edom, which means what? Red. The Hebrew word Adavon
Kind.
means red.
And that's
So we use the same words to describe David.
He was never used as Adavon.
we all speak Hebrew up here.
You're speaking fluent.
We all speak Hebrew up here.
Now you have to speak fluently.
Do you speak Hebrew?
We will translate the Hebrew Bible. Not all of it, but we can read some of the words. We know the Hebrew.
Now,
You guys are still
right. So what's the Lord's name then?
Hey.
Can you guys answer who Seth was?
One second, bro. One second.
We're a part of it. So you guys have a good day.
What's the name of the Heavenly Father?
Yeah, what's the name of the Heavenly Father?
I'll shake if you know the name of the Heavenly
Yeah,
Father.
kind.
What's his real name? The Heavenly Father's real name.
Jehovah.
You shake your hand, bro.
Get second John.
No E's or no O's in the Hebrew alphabet.
Kind.
Or some shit like that. Something like that. So it says this once
I'm
in
trying to
the
shake
Bible.
your hands and say that we're all, even though we disagree, we're still a part.
And you walk together.
See, okay, so we're leaving. We're leaving.
Second John 1:9. Go ahead.
Second John, chapter 1, verse 9. Whosoever transgresses and abideth not in the doctrine of the Mashiach had not the Most High. He that abideth in the doctrine of Mashiach, he had both the Father and the Son. If there be son, if there come any unto you and bring not this doctrine,
Not this doctrine. Go ahead.
receive him not into your house.
Receive him not into your house. Go ahead.
Neither bid him. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai speed.
Don't bid him Godspeed. So no salutation to you, man. No salutation, man.
Hey, call upon that name in time of
This
trouble.
is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 14. Be not equally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion have light with darkness? Yahuwah is darkness.
Kind.
1 Corinthians. Oh, so like 1 Corinthians 7 and 14.
This is how genocide started. This kind of ideology. So far,
No, man, y'all not reasonable, man. Y'all not reasonable,
I
man.
thought y'all had to go. We stopped reading. I thought y'all had to go.
They're coming to that.
Hey, I said Jack is gonna get up with it. I already knew he was gonna
Every time we brought evidence,
And we was agreeing too much. Like, yeah, that's okay. We was agreeing too much.
kind. Yeah. Come on, bro.
But you know what? I like that. I like when Kevin goes like that.
Kind.
See, that was good. We gonna break down the mark of the beast. Well, let's go back. We gotta understand what the beast is. They don't know what the beast is, man. They don't know what the beast is. You know what? You know what? Hold on. Hey, listen. I'll give you. I don't do handshakes. I don't do handshakes.
He just told you.
Crazy. You guys are hate preaching.
God hates. God hates.
Brothers hand that agreed with you on the majority of the stuff you said, but because
You didn't agree with us.
I did.
You didn't agree with us, man.
I did.
You didn't agree with us.
What's that? That's two walking together. That's the angry.
Amos 3 and 3.
They won't even
Jake is emotional.
Amos chapter 3, verse 3.
Kind.
Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Get Romans 16 and what's that? 16 and 17.
You can do it the right way.
We definitely don't agree with Jesus.
I don't know what bootleg Israelite group they learning from, but shit, man. It's a lot of heresies. Romans 16 and 17.
It's Romans 16 and 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoided them, and avoid them. Now I beseech you, brethren,
We on video.
mark these which cause division and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
Hey, read it again, bro. Read it again.
Now I beseech you,
And we not emotional. We just coming with the word, man.
brethren,
Go ahead,
mark them which cause division and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
And avoid them. It means to put the scope on them and completely get away from them, man.
Gonna die in America too.
No, we're not saying the same thing.
Y'all marked for destruction.
Let them go, man. They was too emotional.
Bro.
Too emotional. Every time we try to bring the facts out,
Bro.
well, how can you prove that?
Yeah, we can never bring out
We
nothing.
can't bring nothing out.
Like,
So you
damn.
just bring it. Anything we come with, you
Hey,
just go
but they can't bring nothing.
You can accept that that King James is a homosexual by word of mouth, but then we come with evidence of who wrote that information. They want to be one-sided.
Then he never brought out a scripture. He went to Siri, he asked Siri where the scripture at.
Right.
Then go ask the brother, could he get into his sword? What?
And when did they even bring the scripture up?
Bro.
I didn't even hear them bring up the scripture. Jake is too heavy emotional.
Galatians chapter 1, verse 8. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you, and that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed.
This nigga said Sunday worship is the
Mark of the beast, bro.
Anybody teach us something like that? May the Most High Shalak Rayam,
Kind.
Ashapat Yom Wah, Harak Yom Wah, Abad Yom, I'll call that nigga, man.
Kind.
That's right.
That's why Jesus.
You gonna get a lot of niggas smoked, man.
Kind.
They couldn't get nothing right, man. But in the same token, you agreeing with us? We didn't agree on the mark. We did not agree on the dragon.
Kind.
We didn't agree on Esau.
On
We didn't
Esau.
agree on Esau. So what the fuck you mean?
We agree.
We agree.
And nigga had an excuse for everything. We said we went to Esau and it said he's red, and then we went to the prophecy about him ruling at the end times. But are we actually in the end times?
Bro, the end time.
Now, this ain't the end time. So go ahead, you niggas out there that want to continue to thrive in America, and this not the end times. You're gonna get destroyed. You know, may the Most High judge you niggas swiftly, man. Cause we ain't playing up here.
Hey, the bottom line is this, man. Y'all gotta deal with what's coming, regardless. If you believe us, that's why I kept having to read Romans 3 and 3. Whether you believe what we say or not, you still gotta deal with the actuality when it comes to pass. Whether you heard us or not, whether you believe it or not. So that's why I come out. You gonna take this? You gonna take this mark? I'm not saying nothing. Okay, but that's still the mark of the beast. And your fat ass probably is gonna take it.
Oh yeah, you gotta eat.
You gotta eat.
Everybody
All
goes both ways, right?
your people
Hey, bro, and just off of that, bro, Jake coming up talking about we understand what the law speaks of on following the law to the best of our ability, and then he gonna agree, but at the same time, both of them niggas lined up and tapered up, bro.
Oh yeah, and the nigga got dread.
And he got dreads.
Yeah, man.
Niggas talk about the law.
That's why I'm wondering, like, what fucking bootleg ass Israelite
even accept them niggas.
Yeah, exactly. I doubt they listen to IUIC, man. There's a lot of bugged out.
And niggas, bro, oh, can you speak fluent Hebrew? That nigga wasn't even saying real Hebrew, bro. He wasn't saying the Ivorians, bro.
What the fuck is that?
Kind.
Yeah.
That's like
Kind. That wasn't the Lashon Kodash. Because if we would have just started saying prayers or anything in Hebrew, he would have looked like, oh snap, so y'all can.
Hey, we got him on the who would be the last ruling people.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He said I asked him show me a prophecy where Japhet will be the last power to rule on the earth. This motherfucker went back to Genesis. Come on, bro. Japhet shall be enlarged. Motherfucker, that's talking about the landmass that the Lord would give Japhet, man. The original Greeks, the original Romans, which were of Japhet, they had all the landmass of Europe. They had Russia, they had all those lands, man. What the hell are you talking about? And of course, you had the Hebrews that would dwell among them. You know?
And you called them out too, bro. Because you say if you don't know, just say it. Yeah. So pride is the Most High he's gonna destroy those the pride. The pride and haughty, man.
He agreed up to a certain part, and then we said, "What are those stars?" Stars.
Yeah,
that's what.
Yeah.
Like,
the nigga never answered no question, bro. He never answered no question that we asked.
Galatians 1:9. As we said before, so say I now again, if any man preach another gospel unto you, then that ye have received, let him be accursed.
I read that one in 2 John.
I got one. This is Jeremiah 14 and 14. Then the Lord said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spoke unto them. They prophesy unto you false visions and divination, a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart. The dudes just coming with their own opinions. They knew a little bit of scriptures, but they even got 50% of truth, man. They can't even identify who Jacob and Esau is. All right, and that's Hebrew Israelite one-on-one, you know. So go ahead.
And I was like, my bad.
Go. You got it.
Now, in an equation of truth, a math, which means truth, where math comes from.
What's that? What's that language?
It's Hebrew, right? If you mess up the equation, you get the variables of the equation wrong, the whole thing is wrong. You mess up in one variable, the whole thing is now wrong. Okay? If the wicked ain't the so-called white man, then where and who is he?
Bro, that's why I brought up Job 9:24.
Who else is doing the wickedness that the so-called white man is doing in the earth?
And where did it say that Japhet would do all his hate towards
the nation of Israel?
Against Israel? Like,
come on, bro.
We clearly see the so-called white man is number one hater.
Our brother, that guy right there is, yes. You man.
Jake Simple.
Jake Simple.
Hold on. Don't all nations of people come from free men?
Yeah. Came really out of the one their father. Free men, sons.
So why are you complaining that we live different? Like that can't happen. Matter of fact, don't the Most High have the power to change the genetic look of a race of people or a line of people for a prolonged period of time?
Yeah.
What happened to the servant of Elisha when he went against the order when he healed Naaman, the king of Syria? He healed him of leprosy.
Yeah.
And then his servant went behind him and was trying to get gifts. You know, when he basically told him, don't take nothing from the king, right? What happened? He actually went and tried to ask, to try to get gifts from the king of Syria, and because Elisha ended up finding out, the Most High basically told her, hey, cursed. He's cursed. And basically, the Lord told him, "You and your seed forever are going to be cursed with leprosy."
I asked him what the market came with.
Oh, that's
Yeah. That should have went to the apostles of faith. Reincarnation in the scriptures.
oh, yeah.
And they would just hop in the car.
It's not the difference in reincarnation and physical. Right?
Resurrection and reincarnation.
The same flesh back, like we ever even did. That's the reincarnation. Is putting that same spirit into another body.
Right. Which is why they come up with that reincarnation.
Reincarnation
being
is back in the flesh.
whatever. Right?
God.
Reincarnation and
Resurrection.
Our Lord.
Yes.
Resurrected again.
Resurrected is to be risen again. That's why when you show Thomas,
God.
like, look, the gash in my hands, the same. He's gonna come back with that same flesh again too that he left with. But some people are. But anyway, I say it. I'm saying, like when
Talking about when he in the kingdom, when he brings that body back up.
Right.
You talking about his second coming?
No,
He ain't coming in that body.
Yeah, kind.
What I'm saying is, he came with that when he showed him that at that time. But before that, he was reincarnated from the spirit he was before. He had another spirit before he was born of Mary. That's why I have to say
Sunday worship, bro.
So that with that Anunnaki,
How the hell did that?
context of what you guys talked about.
Sunday worship.
context. I don't know about
I mean, from all
So
those
that's-
different kingdoms, and the kingdom of Judah, they had said, you guys say they sacrifice Jesus, right? He like he has that kingdom down to sacrifice and say he's more with it.
I'm not sure of your question. I'm not understanding your question, but if you mean as far as him being sacrificed, yeah, he became a sacrifice for the whole nation of Israel.
He's always been sacrificed.
Yeah, that he came to be a sacrifice one time. Yep. Yeah, I don't know if y'all was holding these.
I just had.
Yeah, I mean, if they say we don't understand, so they gave us calligraphy as a first step of communication to couldn't all understand. They played it twist, they started putting in words, and that's the black box.
Well, that's all hieroglyphics. They got their lettering from us for the Hebrew characters.
Now,
Yeah.
the white man that put his poison inside of God's, inside the Bible, to divide what they call their hybrids. They figured that they'd be able to breed the white from the black man to make a super soldier. You guys, scientifically speaking now?
No, we're not.
We ain't on that tip.
Okay, man.
But just for the truth's sake, man, King James is not a damn homosexual.
Con, bro.
You know?
Yeah, he didn't want me to. He didn't. I called his homeboy out, and he got shut down. So his friend had
Yeah.
to step in, like,
So
where you
tomorrow.
prove? How could you prove that?
That was a rumor?
And he even give me a chance to even answer, the question that I actually asked him. Who started that rumor of King James?
Con.
And this is common secular history.
It is.
All these
40 years
Edomite
after.
scholars and historians, they can all tell you about that. Okay? It was all to demonize King James because the dude was jealous.
Con.
He was an enemy of King James.
He was not allowed in King James court.
Sir Anthony Weldon.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's common knowledge, man. That's a fact.
Are you guys scholars?
Yes.
You guys all
The scholar, it just means to be a student.
Con.
No, that's what I mean. You guys are all studying some.
Yeah, we study other words.
We studied the scriptures.
And when you study the scriptures, that these jakes, they didn't realize the scriptures go along with secular history.
Con.
You know, you have to read about the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Persians, the Medes, the Romans.
Yeah.
All right, to understand the Bible, to understand the times. All right, and the Bible is told from the perspective of the Israelites. All right, from the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai to put on the prophets and the apostles and the disciples to put these words so that we can have this truth. All right, but you got to understand it goes with secular history. All right, and that's what Jake. Yeah. Go ahead.
Alexander the Greek was a part of secular history.
Con.
It's written in the Bible also.
And Xerxes.
Con.
Xerxes.
Xerxes 1, 2.
Yeah.
The Roman Caesars.
Con.
Okay.
Those aren't just people that were made up and then they named themselves after later or whatever. It was exactly secular history. Okay, that line and even in the future, like Willem Kaiser, right? He's written in there, but it wasn't described as Willem Kaiser, just the role that he played in that time period. You guys don't know how you don't have the spirit to decipher this true word. You have need that one teach you again. But we're prideful for trying to explain you the truth about the Bible. But you're not prideful for not wanting to hear us to learn it from us, you know?
I already saw they came up wrong. Them dudes came up hella wrong. They really came in that spirit of we finna teach these dudes.
Hey.
I already saw that proud spirit when they came.
Bro.
What that was. So that's why I was already on guard, like, yeah, we might have to deal with these clowns, man.
Jude verse 1, Jude 1 and 3. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that you should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. That's why we was basically contending with them, fighting with them about the scriptures. But we didn't agree with what they were saying, man. So we're not gonna let that go. You know, we didn't bid them Godspeed when they want us to shake their hands and shit. No, we ain't doing that, man. All right, we're not in the same mindset, so we can't. We have nothing. We have nothing to agree. All right. If people don't agree with us, man, you're gonna be put to death. Simple as that, man.
Yeah, well, it's like, just to add on to what you're saying, it's not about agreeing with us. It's about agreeing with Yahweh Shem Shai and the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. It's just, we're the ones that were given the true word of Yahweh Shem Shai. If you don't agree with that, you're disagreeing with Yahweh Shai, the world ignorant called Jesus Christ, which means you're disagreeing with the Father who sent him.
Them niggas is hypocrites because he said Yehuda right here.
Yeah.
Then over there he was hollering Jesus. It's like confused, man.
True.
This is Daniel 12 and 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Like they were trying to say that we weren't at the end times. Knowledge of this book, mainly, first and foremost, is being increased at an exponential level, man. It's going throughout the four corners of the world. All right, everyone's learning about this truth. The knowledge and the revealing of Esau is at an all-time high. You know, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, all this dirt about Esau wasn't coming out. You know, of course, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, he gave us the internet, but we're living in the end times. We're living in the end times because we see the prophecies, we see the signs, and we see the knowledge being increased. We see Israel, people calling themselves Israelites. All right, when in time past have so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans been calling themselves Israelites. All right, we're in those last days. If you're not, the spirit ain't dealing with you to receive that message, we're gonna be destroyed with Esau, these heathens, and the rest of these 2/3.
Bro, and that.
Yeah. The kingdom's on its way out. The prophets will stand on the corner and prophesy before that.
Bro, and they tried to make a claim basically, in the Roman captivity, didn't they think that was the end of the days? Well, were these prophecies happening in the time of the Romans? Were the last prophecies happening back then?
See, but it goes back to them not understanding prophecy. I told them at that particular time, it was the Romans' time. At the end of that time,
exactly.
If you understood prophecy, you would know that the Roman Empire it fell, but it was gonna come back.
Exactly.
It would talk about that deadly wound that was healed.
1,000 years, yeah.
You know, after 1,000 years, it would come back. The Satan would be loosed for a season.
Yep.
But we couldn't get in. We couldn't get into nothing like that, man.
Didn't Nahum and what's the other prophet? They they prophesied the downfall of Babylon, right? They were prophesying the end of that age.
Yeah, that empire,
that kingdom, and that's what we're doing.
The fourth beast is the last beast that would be ruling when Yahweh Shai returns.
Yep.
The fourth beast went down as the ancient pagan Roman Empire, but it resurfaced over 1,000 years later. We're at the end. Matter of fact, we at the toes.
And that
we
clay.
at the leg, the toes,
clay,
man.
the iron and clay.
we're at that stage of the beast. That's what's remaining of the beast. And that's what's and it talks about how there's gonna be a stone cut without hands that's gonna actually break it in pieces. That stone talking about Yahweh Shai. So that beast is gonna be empowered when the Lord shows up. So that's how you know we at the end.
Right. And the reason why I was just saying
they don't know what the 10 toes are, man. We couldn't go into that.
When you break down why, I say this way, when you meditate and think about why all those other captivities are written, and this time for our learning, because this is the one time that even though it's under Roman structure, it still have elements of all those other kingdoms. Nineveh, Babylon, we know that, Egypt, and so on and so forth.
Right.
Persia, all of that's all usable for the time of now for us to earn our salvation.
And that show you everyone not fit to teach this Bible, man. Everybody that say they man of the Lord ain't the man of the Lord. All right.
Right. Got something, Z?
Yeah, I got something.
So again, 100 years since black people was legally able to read.
This is Isaiah chapter 29, start at verse 9. It says, "Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink." Stagger. This is all the word, man. They didn't understand nothing. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, has he covered. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which being delivered to one another that is learned, to one that is learned, saying, "Read this, I pray thee." He says, "I cannot." If you're not prideful, you would say you cannot. What they should have said, just okay. You don't know, so be quiet and let us teach you. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah, bro, he couldn't just say it. He couldn't just say he don't know. And you called him out on it.
He was projecting.
Right, he teaches too, right? It says, "I cannot, for it is sealed." And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, "Read this, I pray thee." And he said, "I am not learned." Wherefore the Lord said, "For as much as the people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and the fear toward me is taught by the precepts of men." And that's all part of the point. He still had that whole worldly vibe about it. He don't want this place to go there.
I'm gonna get this.
He don't want this. We didn't want this. He believed all he wanted about this Bible, but he didn't have no prophecy before Yahweh Shai, the spirit of prophecy. First off, he didn't have Yahweh Shai, he didn't know Yahweh Shai, but he also wants this place to continue on, and he wants his oppressor to continue to rule over him. We ain't worried about Jaffa, man.
They love Esau.
We ain't worried about it. Yeah, whoever the white man is,
trying to save the white
man. We should be worried
Bro, that's
about.
it. That's it.
He ain't even white like we trying to say, man. I think them niggas listen to Pastor Dowd or somebody, man. That sounds like a Pastor Dowd doctrine. He teaches that Esau is the Arabs and the white man is Jaffa.
Or that Geno Jennings.
Yeah, man. These niggas are bugged out their mind, man.
Bro, them niggas said the mark of the beast was Sunday worship, bro. So what? So the hour of temptation is the what?
Midnight,
Bro, them niggas would have said the hour of temptation is the first hour of Sunday service, bro.
So if we worship Yahweh Shai on a Sunday, we got the mark,
bro.
We couldn't even read the scripture. We couldn't even get into buy or sell.
Couldn't get to the Greek.
We couldn't do none of that. Because these niggas was emotional.
When was Sunday created? Like the day of the week, Sunday. When was that created? What year was that created? And were these scriptures written before that?
Hey, hold on. He said the beast was a system, and he said the mark is Sunday worship.
Yeah.
So if I don't go to church on Sunday, the system is gonna put me to death. See, when you use common fucking logic, Jake just sound fucking just
ridiculous, bro.
Man. Ridiculous, man.
The mark of the beast,
Huh?
I got it free, bro.
It's Isaiah 30:8. Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come, forever and ever, that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not,
And the prophets prophesy unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. And that's exactly what them niggas wanted, man. They wasn't, like the brother said, they didn't have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They didn't have the spirit of prophecy. They weren't talking about America being destroyed. They weren't talking about or even going into.
They're not sure if we in the end.
Yeah, they
don't think we in the end. They think that the Lord delays us coming.
Yep.
The Lord is not slack concerning His promise, man.
Right,
So
bro.
He didn't count slackness. These niggas obviously ain't paying attention. That's why the brother asked them. Well, now that was the two homos from Canada. But I'm pretty sure if they was here, they felt those earthquakes. These are different things that the Lord told us to watch for, man. To understand what times we're in. Measure the time diligently in itself.
I see parts of the signs pass. Which were those signs? The eclipses.
You just had a solar eclipse.
Just had a meteor that made islands rise by Puerto Rico.
All kinds of stuff.
The trajectory towards the planet.
Natural disasters.
Multiplied Earth gravitation.
Chariots in the skies.
It's so much happening. If you catching up with what's happening in the Middle East, man, shit's getting hot, man. It's getting hot over there, man. You got Iran talking about, we basically are exceeding the limit of uranium that we need to fulfill our nuclear facilities, man.
Hey, because that treaty is done away with now.
Yeah, they gotta honor that.
Because it limited countries for the amount of uranium that they can produce for their nuclear capabilities.
It's a race war.
Exactly.
I mean, arms race. And what is the arms race eventually going to happen? They're going to use these arms for something.
Let me bring up the movie The Dark Knight Rises, right? When he had that in that movie, he had that uranium
bomb.
It ended up becoming a bomb, but it wasn't for that. It was for renewable energy. But now that that's off, they don't have to put it because every time they went over there, and was that under Obama? When they went over there and started looking for weapons of mass destruction and all of that stuff, they could never find it. But they did find the uranium being harvested or whatever you want to call it over there. But they were like, well, we're not using it for that. We're not using it for missiles. But now that arms, that deal is taken off, we can now use it for that. We can now use it for that. Yep. Everything's cool now. We can use it for that. If America pop up.
Hey, that famine come, man. Big boy, man.
He gonna have a hard time.
I'm not going to give you his eyes.
He gonna take that mark of peace.
Bro.
He gonna take that shit quick.
You say he gonna eat it?
He gonna hide a couple of them on the side of his cheeks.
Go ahead, put it in both hands.
Hell yeah. He gonna take some extra.
Put it in my elbow, shit. Yeah.
It don't count if it's over here. Put it in the roll on my underarm.
Fat boy gotta eat.
Like, as long as you don't give it to me on Sunday.
Don't give it to me on Sunday. Jake is bugged out, man. That's why the Most High got to destroy 2/3 of our people, man, because they can't get right. They can't get right. They don't want to be right.
They don't have a reasonable mind to even understand this thing. Most High is clearly, truly blind.
And it come down to they don't have wisdom, man. They don't fear the Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
I gotta scripture real quick. This is Sirach 22 and verse 13. This is why I'm glad that they left. We just basically dismissed it. Sirach 22 and 13. Talk not much with a fool, and go not to him that have no understanding. Beware of him, lest thou have trouble, and there shall never be defiled with his fooleries. Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness. If they would have just stood here and kept trying to argue, it would be no rest. It just you gonna believe what you believe. We believe. We stand assured of what we believe.
You ain't converting us.
You ain't converting us, man. You know, you ain't coming up here. You ain't giving us some type of exclusive breakdown that we ain't never heard. That you just somehow, some way, you gonna sweep us off our feet and have us convert and follow you. Nah, man.
Going back into the faith and the works, bro, right? We're not out here just on accident. We weren't walking, hey, let's stop right here. That wasn't what happened. Our faith has been built up in us to such a level, and we've studied to such a level that we're able to come out here and teach the word. The Spirit is on us to come out here and teach this word. It's not an accident that we're out here, okay? We don't see you standing around out here. You walked up to us.
That's crazy though. He said the other dude he was so damn emotional. He said, see, this right here is what causes genocide.
Yeah, I heard you say
So what we're doing up here, standing stiffly and defending the gospel, that causes genocide.
Damn.
Really what that reads is, you would actually
Put us to death. Kind, bro.
He probably put me on the Lord to death. He probably was one of the niggas that
put us to
said,
death.
crucify him, let his blood be upon our children.
Let the thief
No,
kill Jesus. That's one of them dudes, right?
Why would he say something like that? We disagree. We say, nah, we ain't dealing with that.
We ain't shaking hands.
We ain't finna shake your hand. You go on and believe what you believe. And we gonna believe what we believe. How is that genocide?
Kind.
He said he didn't shake your hand.
And we read the scriptures. It says not to bid them Godspeed.
Kind.
You know?
Shake your hand and say God's name.
You had a scripture.
2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 36. Behold the word of the Lord. Behold the word of the Lord. Receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. As when a woman with
I'm just laughing at what you mean.
As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
I wanted to get that where you talking about the works you say by your works. I wanted to ask him, what are you trying to be saved from?
Because he said he was saved already. And his first time saying it, he said, yeah, because we're already saved. So I was like, what?
Oh, he did. He said by the blood of Jesus.
Yeah.
You believe Jesus right there. Yeah.
Let me get this. 2 Ezra 9 and 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. Or he said escape and be saved. What are you going to be escaping, be saved from? Martial law, famine, pestilence, destruction, thermonuclear fire.
Those the plagues.
Yeah, the plagues. Yeah. Jake ain't trying to talk about that. Jake want to hear smooth things. Jake want to hear receipts. Jake's true, man. That's why it's righteous. That's why it's righteous that the Most High got to destroy 2/3 of Israel, man.
That's like 500 power? No,
Yeah, what it boils down to is pride, man. This is why the Most High says he resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble. You know, Jake, and that spirit is of the world. So they come in with that same worldly spirit, right? Acting like they can't be corrected, they can't be taught, because it's a macho thing, it's ego. They can't humble down to young men that's well read and learned in the scriptures, man. So they come with that attitude like, well, these guys ain't finna tell me nothing. I bet I know more than they know. You know?
He was trying to show off.
And the girls stuff too. Like, yo, man, that's all.
Yeah, man.
They don't know the scriptures, man.
At all.
This woman all outside the car talking.
Hey, and he actually checked them too. Because he said, I thought your woman ain't supposed to speak in the church. And the dude was like, that's what he said. That's what he said. He said, your woman ain't supposed to speak in the church. And he tried to defend it. He was like, no, actually, it doesn't say that. And I'm like, dang, you just gonna lie?
He's a reprobate. They're reprobates. Them niggas are reprobates, man.
And everyone doesn't chance wait till she makes it home to find out her husband.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then, if he feels need to say so, it says relevant to what she said, in the church is
Our people know how to order, man, and they don't believe in being up under order. That's why it's a hard time for people to come into this truth. Because you're going to have to conform to an order, man. You have to yield yourself, submit yourself. Jay ain't willing to do that, man. They still got the pride of the world on. You're supposed to come into this thing as a newborn babe. Humble yourself as that child, man. You know? The Lord ain't dealing with you. You know it all, niggas, man.
Put on the new man.
You know? Huh?
I got it, 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. Wherefore lay aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisy and envies and evil speakings. You can't come with that spirit before you even examine the matter that's going on. They came with a certain mentality before they realized how we would even feel. And we have to reflect that mentality on them. You know? It says, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. If so, be ye have tasted, that the Lord is gracious. Yeah.
Verse 2, right?
As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
Yep.
That reminds me of the 1 Corinthians.
Yeah, and dudes like that, you gotta stay on the milk. This guy trying to go into the beast and all that, you don't even, what the hell are you doing, bro?
You got milk fucked up.
You probably just learned you was an Israelite probably last year or
Bro,
something.
you took his ass in deep waters with that Revelation.
Yeah, bro. Gone.
Bro.
It's stuck.
Yeah.
Jake was stuck.
You know, you swimming and
Yeah,
you reach for the bottom
Yeah.
and they don't.
He needed the life raft real quick, man.
Gone, because every time he didn't have an answer, he was like, well, I'm asking you what you think about it.
I do like what's that question? What's that questionnaire game? You can call a lifeline.
Who wants to be a
Who wants to be a
millionaire?
millionaire? You better call in a lifeline. Somebody come and help you because you better ask Siri something. Or just humble down, man. What's wrong with humbling down, Jake? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with admitting that you don't know? Why is that a problem?
Hey, man.
Because everybody got you, all your pride pulled up. You feel like somebody. You think you feel like somebody if you think you know it all.
Hey.
But you look even worse when you don't know shit.
Hey, I have men that I give double honors to for teaching me what I know.
That's right.
I don't credit myself for what I know. I give all praise to Yahweh Shai
That's right.
and the Holy Spirit for using men to teach me what I know.
God, we ain't nothing but vessels.
I was a babe and I'm still am a babe.
Right.
But hey, what did Yahweh Shai say? He revealed his secrets unto babes.
Matthew 11.
Matthew 11. I knew I didn't know shit when I came into this, man. And I'm still learning.
It's Matthew 11 and 25. At that time, Yahushua answered and said, Thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes.
Yeah, man, the Lord ain't dealing with the wise of this world. He's dealing with the lowly, man. When you read 1 Corinthians, the first chapter, when Apostle Paul was writing to the church in Corinth, he had to let them know, like, hey, don't think that, you know, the Lord is calling everybody they got a scholarship, they're very learned and on a scholarly level, they geniuses, you know, they so well learned, they're literate. You know, some of the men of the Lord were illiterate. Yeah. But guess what? The Holy Spirit is what empowered them to go out there and demonstrate the Spirit.
Kind of like Moses in the time of Egypt. He said, "Lord, I don't know what to say."
I'm not an eloquent speaker.
Kind. He said, "I'm not an eloquent speaker."
And the Most High said, who created the mouth?
Kind.
Exactly, man. The Lord chose the foolish to confound the wise, man.
I gotta read another thing real quick. It's Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 3, verse 19.
I knew that's why we
Many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek.
And if they were humble enough, they'd be able to understand these breakdowns of prophecy, man.
they were humble down.
I would have dealt with them dudes, man. If they was more humble, it would have been cool. We've always gotten the back and forth with people. And they left, and everything was still peaceful. Them niggas was proud. And they tried to accuse us of being proud. What the hell is wrong with Jake?
We were definite about our no, that we're not agree with you until you understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Until you humble down, you won't understand until you humble down.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 20, verse 5 and 6. There is one that keepeth silence and is found wise, and another by much babbling becoming hateful. Some man holdeth his tongue because he has not to answer, and some keepeth silence, knowing his time. A wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity, but a babbler and a fool will regard no time. He that uses many words shall be abhorred, and he that taketh to himself authority therein shall be hated.
Yeah, that's what they would do, man. It's really like they were trying to exact on our platform.
We preaching hate. We preaching hate.
There's really a
that's a typical emotional retort. You guys are hateful. You preaching hate.
Listen, you got nothing better to say.
That's what the
all
nigga
you
women
use
do.
To dismiss that the fact that you get found out that you don't know nothing. You're just being exposed. It's a bad moment. How you gotta deal with that, man?
And of all the things that I've been called, I'm not worried about being called a hate or a hater. That's small. I hate when you say you guys are, somebody else said you're false prophets. That bothers me a lot more than calling that you guys are hateful.
That don't bother me either. Because what did Yahweh Shai say? Woe to you and men shall speak well of you. Yeah. For so did they to the false prophets. Call us false prophets, man. Hey. Call us whatever the hell you want, man.
You know that they for the prophecy.
You calling us hate? You saying that we hate? But we trying to pull our people out of the fire.
Right.
We telling you don't take that chip. If you do it, and we didn't even get a chance to get into the judgment on it.
What I was gonna say, those other Canadians or whatever they want to call themselves, that was standing right, which ain't a nationality. Anyway, but those I said, no, we don't only hate, we love. We love these people. You know, and that's what we're really showing our people. We're showing true love. This is, I said it before years ago, this is a public service of love to our people that we're out here. The Most High proves that he loves the Israelites, man, by sending the prophets out there to warn them about what's happening.
And you might not like our approach.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes whatever. Sometimes reproof is like comedy. You know, sometimes we gonna be harsh. We gonna, you know. Sometimes it can get heated.
We're about to kill most of the people in the earth and translate the power. So yeah, you're not gonna like what's being said and what's being heard.
I got two scriptures. Amos 5 and 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate.
Right.
They abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
Yep. It's really the ones that's yelling hate. They're the ones that hate.
You hate our Lord. You hate him that sent us.
Come. Because you despise this word, man.
It ain't the truth.
Come. You despise, and what did Yahweh Shai say? He that despiseth you, despiseth not, he that despiseth ye, despiseth not,
but him that sent me.
You despise me.
Yeah. And he that despiseth me, despiseth him that sent me.
Like John or something.
So really, they coming up against the Most High.
Yep.
That's why the Lord said, keep thy foot will not go into the house, man.
He was trying
House
to get
of
it
the
out.
Lord.
He couldn't get it out.
Yeah,
You know?
these people, like these people so-called believe in the Bible. Why did the prophets and our Lord Yahweh Shai and the apostles get put to death?
Thank you.
They went out violently, man.
Yeah.
Like, why would they put them to death? Why would these people put the men of the Lord to death? We fit the most the characteristics of those men that's in the scriptures that have been speaking up rightly to you people and being slandered for it, man. Being scorned at, you know, hands being put on us. We fit those characteristics more than these church pastors. All right.
About those smooth things.
I had a priest. Oh, you had something over there?
It's Isaiah 50, this real quick. Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not.
Wait, no.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet and show my people their transgressions and the house of Jacob their sins. It says, spare not. Spare not your feelings. Spare not. You know, we reading the word. We're words out of the book. So, hey, if you don't agree with the word that's come out of the book, you guys, it's not an issue with you. It's an issue with you, not with the book, not with Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
You know?
You gotta take that up with him.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong if I don't speak it and I don't tell you on it. So if you are an abomination, you're doing abominable acts, I have to speak on it, being a man of the Lord.
Come on.
I don't. I'm just as guilty as you for letting it go.
You're just as responsible.
Con, and it's Romans 1 and I believe 32. Those that have pleasure in them that do them.
Not only do them,
Yeah,
but
come.
play them at the end.
If you forbear to warn them that are drawn to death, you know, if you know about it, you know, is it the Most High gonna? Does it the Most High know
Correct.
that you know what's up?
And then I can,
That's how He deals with us, man.
I can love you. I can still love you, but tell you you're an abomination. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it ain't gonna change nothing. It's just,
Open rebuke is better than secret love.
Kind of.
It's better that I love you more because I rebuke you so you don't get killed by the Heavenly Father than if I say, oh, that's cool, bro. Let me shake your hand, man. You know, brother.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Sound like
that's not the one we looking for.
that ain't it.
You know, I was waiting to see you.
Yeah, I got a scripture. This is Proverbs 9 and verse I'll start at 7. It says, He that reproveth a scorner getteth to himself shame, and he that rebuketh a wicked man getteth himself a plot. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. You know? So a wise man appreciates correction, man. You know? I'm trying to pull you away from death. You want to believe that the chip is not the mark of the beast? All right, bro. But we tried to tell you, man, and we got into a deep, we got into some meaty, you know, we got into some meat to try to, you know, break it down to you, and
We couldn't even finish.
we couldn't even finish that.
Emotional, man.
Too emotional, man.
And Jake
won't death.
they wanna get into a certain topic, but then we can't even give you the full answer before you get emotional and jump on something else. It's,
Some of these topics do cross lines.
Yeah.
So we have, like you said, before we get to the mark of the beast, you gotta know what the beast is.
You gotta, you have to take your emotions out of it.
Exactly.
There's no, this is not an emotional walk. The whole walk is void of emotion.
Con, emotions get you killed.
Yeah, emotions get you killed in this society.
we had King Saul. King Saul got emotional and let the king live.
Yeah.
And you know, what do we have right
Yeah,
now?
the
Amalekites holding over us, right? Agag, yeah.
Okay, rule.
What is that? Yes, right?
Yeah, it's Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Con,
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Con, it's the spirit, bro. Spirit.
It's true.
Good script.
I also had another one. This is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 10.
Con.
Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake,
Yep.
for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake.
Hey, that's a blessing. Hey, GMS, we get a bad rep, man.
Con.
We're the most hated, the most disliked.
Sickest
We're the most, we the most isolated.
Yeah, con.
You know.
Everybody's cool with Israelites.
But we cool with that. We cool with that, man.
Y'all GMS?
We relish in that.
I got verse 12.
Let me say that. We relish in in this role.
Yeah.
You got it right?
Verse 12. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you.
The brother brought it up. Hey, they killed the Lord and the prophet before the Lord. And then the apostles after the Lord. Like, people, we're fitting those characteristics in that role of that.
Hey, them dudes were so salty, man. They were so emotional. They were trying to kind of hide it, but I could tell they wanted to get aggressive.
Con.
Especially the dreads, man. Yeah. Cause he kept coming back, and when he kept coming back, I could read body language. He kept coming up, but when he kept getting closer and closer, you know, doing all that, I'm like, yo, I had to put my arm out. Like, can you give us some space, though? You come up a little too close, man. A little too quick.
Pride was
you know.
Wait.
Because Jake hurt, his ego was hurt, man.
He was hoit, boy. He was hoit,
Jake
boy.
willing to go carnal real quick when their ego gets hurt.
We wasn't coming with our own opinions. We were just reading out the scriptures.
That's what hurts the most.
You know, these are the words.
Hey, some of these Jakes really believe that I'm the one that everybody that ever crossed in my path. I know the Bible better than everybody ever crossed my path until you crossed us. And then, but then it bothers you because what you got isn't what you thought you had. Now we really got it and you didn't have it, so you get mad about it. Your ego and your pride is touched and hurt. Well, too bad. Deal with it. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it?
Nigga went to 13.
You know?
The mom, bro.
You know, so what you gonna do about it? So they know they can't win the spiritual war. You don't want to talk about the spiritual war, but then you want to act like he knew he couldn't go carnal. But I'll tell you, Big Boy probably had 15 seconds worth of fighting. 15 seconds. I'm saying.
Get him throwing up
2-3 punches.
that ass.
You dance on him a little bit, he's done. You dance on him, hop in and stick, he's done. You know, the other one might have had 45 seconds.
He would have had no win.
You know, he would have went after about 15 seconds. He probably would have just tried to grab you and wrestle you. Yeah, bro.
Hey, the nigga one would have got cold cut.
She would have got cold cut too.
She would have caught all type of right, left crosses.
We been looking for another spot like Chicago.
The weapons of our warfare is not carnal.
That's right. Yeah.
But we will whoop your ass if you truth, though.
Yeah, we have a right to defend ourselves. We have that right. We ain't out here for confrontation.
Hey, we just want to debate the word. And we really just want to edify our people, really.
Why do you think that all these those sayings like two can walk together, let's be agreed, don't beat them Godspeed? Because the prophets are dealing with the same thing. They had to put that in there because they were debating. They were with the wicked scribes and Pharisees. They had discord all the time. They wasn't beating them Godspeed after they had discussed whatever, debated. They wasn't saying okay, shaking their hand.
Let's get an example. Let's get Acts. Where's it at? Acts.
Shake the dust off our Iconium?
No, when Peter he had a dispute with the wicked Pharisees in the synagogue, and after that he basically was like, all right, y'all don't believe, I'm out. I'm done. I'm not done with you.
3 months?
Huh?
You said for a span of 3 months in the synagogue?
I think so. Acts 17. And started at verse 13.
It's Acts 17 and 13. But when the Jews of Thessalonica had knowledge that the word of the Most High was preached of Paul in Berea, they came thither also and stirred up the people. And then immediately the brethren sent away Paul to go as it were to the sea. But Silas and Timothy abode there still. And they that conducted Paul brought him into Athens and received a commandment unto Silas and Timothy for to come to him with all speed. They departed. And while Paul waited for them in Athens, his spirit was stirred up.
It's like, that's not it. That's not it. I want to say it's in Acts. It might be Acts 19 chapter. Acts 19, and I'll start at 8.
It's Acts 19 and 8. And he went into the synagogue and spoke boldly for the space of 3 months, disputing and persuading the things concerning the kingdom of the Most High. But when divers were hardened and believed not, but spoke evil of that way before the multitude,
they withstood him. It wasn't agreeing. They were trying to be argumentative. Same thing that we deal with, man. He was encountering the same situations in the synagogues, man, where they would have disputes. Okay, they were debating the scriptures back then. There's nothing new under the sun
concerning the kingdom of God. He departed from them and separated the disciples disputing daily in the school of one Tyrannus. And this continued by the space of 2 years, so that all they which dwelt in Asia heard the word of the Lord Yahushua, both Jews and Greeks, and the Most High wrought special miracles by the hands of Paul, so that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs or aprons, and the disease departed from them, and evil spirits went out of them.
God. Hey, so basically, Apostle Paul went and did his thing. He left them after he was disputing with them. He basically departed and didn't have no dealings with them, and he went and completed his mission, man. To go do the work, man. He wasn't finna just drag his feet and worry about these niggas disbelieving. You know, like, oh, y'all can't get it. Well, I'm gonna try to make sure y'all get it. Let me break this down to you. Let me see. Here, let me see your glasses, man. Can you see that? Nah, man. If you don't get it, hey, it's not meant for you.
Like Apostle Tahar say, we moving on.
He moving on. He didn't wait for them niggas, man. He ain't finna wait for them to believe. You know? It's up to the Most High anyway, who believes.
And in the time that believe.
Yeah.
I got one real quick. Revelation chapter 22. Started verse 11. Yep. Verse 11, he that is unjust, let him be unjust still. He that is filthy, let him be filthy still. He that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. You gotta let people stay in the road that they in.
Start at 4.
You know, because they may have to, the time of their that they understand may come later. They may have to wait.
That's why.
The time that they believe.
That's why sometimes you feel like when you start learning about this, you feel like, damn, I wasn't paying attention or whatever, whatnot. But it's not the fact that you weren't paying attention; it wasn't your time.
Right.
So when it's your time, you understand more, and then you ask the Lord for understanding, grow your faith, and just 100%, and just tenfold. You live in the Word, and if so be it, you die by the Word. You know, you just keep on, and then slowly, and the more you do, and the more faith you put, and the more you practice, and the more you study and research and everything, you grow, and everything just keeps on coming unto you more and more and more.
It's just like Paul was telling those Israelite foreigners that were coming in. He was like, look, we can't put them through too much. We're all coming out of a Gentile state. Let's give them a little bit, and as their faith increases, their works will increase as well, and their belief will increase as well. You know, give them a little task and it'll grow.
Alright, that's why he told him to abstain from different things.
Yeah, but stay away from these things because those are going to pollute you, but you never get that growth in the spirit.
Because you don't try to study too much, and then watching multiple videos, reading multiple books, multiple camps.
It's a balance.
Yeah, find that balance.
Hey, and that's a direct scripture that you quoted because it says, "Went on unto every doctrine, every wind of doctrine." And it's another script that says, "And much study, and much studyiness is study is weariness of the flesh."
I gotta go. This is Acts 18:4. And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks. And when Silas and Timothy were come from Macedonia, Paul was pressed in the spirit and testified to the Jews that Yahushua was Hamashiach. And when they opposed themselves,
basically they start bucking up. You know?
They hit a point that they didn't believe in.
You know, they come with them arguments. Where's it in the Old Testament that you're supposed to pray to Yahushua? What scripture in the Old Testament that say that we're gonna have a New Testament? Or where in the Old Testament is they try to all types of excuses, man. Those arguments that these niggas use today, they were using them same arguments back then.
what proof did you got that Yahushua existed?
Exactly.
Shit like that.
Who wrote that Bible?
Mark of the Beast. Mark of the Beast. HOI, the Toad. Get his name. Savat, yeah. Because he doesn't want to learn, he doesn't want to accept the Mark of the Beast, RFID chip. And everything. So, it goes right back to the same.
second verse. Verse 6. And when they opposed themselves and blasphemed, he shook his raiment and said unto them, your blood be upon your own heads. I am clean. From henceforth, I will go unto the Gentiles.
He shook the dust.
I wash my hands.
I wash my hands with you. Blood up on y'all head, man. I'm done. I'm through. And hey, the way Paul did that, them same clowns that just left, some dudes we were dealing with before we walked up, they would have that the approach that they had. They would have condemned Paul for that.
See the piece of it while I was driving here.
Oh yeah, you go on the video, you'll catch it.
They would have, they cussed Paul out and the prophets out. And ultimately they killed the prophets. They were able to, put their hands on the prophets.
Okay.
They would have told Paul, man, you teaching blasphemy, you teaching hate. And he said, blood, made of blood be upon your head. Jake lost it.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Jake, Paul was like, man, get the fuck out.
What you mean?
What you trying to say?
Yeah.
You gonna do it? They want to get carnal.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how Jake is, man. That's what you gotta do. Hey, most of their hell comes from our own people. It's always been that way. Always been that way. That's why the Lord told Ezekiel, don't worry about your people, man.
Time. And that's why he told Jeremiah, pray not for this people.
Yeah. Don't worry
give a
about
home for him, man.
When they make their foreheads hard, I'm gonna make your forehead hard against theirs, man.
He said Ezekiel to bring shame upon the house of Israel.
No, when he told Ezekiel to go out to the children of Israel, he basically said whether they hear or whether they forbear, you got to go out here and teach this word to them. And if they didn't want to hear it, then hey, the blood is on their head.
Because you warned them anyway.
Because you gave the warning to them. You taught the word.
You tried to correct them. If they don't take heed to the correction, the judgment of not being, is on them. But your job is warning them, as I put you in the role to do, you fulfill that, so you'll be all right.
Hey, that's why we get that in Ezekiel. That's why whatever type of energy or spirit that you meet us with, we gonna reciprocate that energy. Right. You come up aggressive, we gonna come back aggressive. You come with a humble approach, we gonna deal with you in meekness. We don't come out here to confront or act like we tough and mighty guys, man. We regular brothers out here, man, trying to seek our salvation.
8. Behold, Ezekiel 3:8. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their face, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy foreheads. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. Ever said to me,
afraid to go there and speak my word to your people, man. I'm with you. All right, it's today's destruction if they don't listen. That's why we don't worry about the massive Israelites that walk up and down here. They act like we don't even exist. Like we not standing right here looking crazy with these garments on, signs out. Sometimes yelling at the top of our lungs. We don't marvel like that. We understand that a lot of our people, they're gonna pass on according to the word.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The Lord knew that he accepted his own children were rebelling his house. That's why he chose Ezekiel. He got a job for us specifically. I'm gonna choose you. Go to them, bring shame upon them. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Exactly.
Turn up your loins.
Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I shall speak unto thee, receive in thy heart, and hear with thy ears, and go get thee to them of the captivity unto thy people, and speak unto them, and tell them, thus saith the Lord power, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear.
Whether they listen, whether they receive it, whether they accept it, or whether they dismiss it. Y'all bugged up, y'all broke, man. Those prophets, man. All right, cool. But the warning went out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of precepts came out.
There's a part, maybe you brothers can help me. I don't remember. I read Ezekiel the entire chapter years ago, like 15 years ago. The part where he tells Ezekiel to shave his head, I believe. He tells him, "Go to them with your bald head." And that, I guess they would look at Ezekiel in a certain type of way. Bald head, I guess they didn't shave their heads at the time.
Right. Because that was a sign of mourning or something. That you pull the hair out your beard.
They put ashes on the head.
Yeah, they throw dust on themselves to show that they were mourning. It was an ancient custom to do it that way. Now you don't have to go to that level, but that's what they would do. And even when we used to wear glorious garments, we said take off the glorious garments and put on sackcloth because we're in mourning for what's about to happen to our people. So that's kind of what you're referring to, right?
Yeah. It said take your bald head, go to the house of the young, shame upon them. Something to do with the bald head, I remember.
Yeah, he also made Ezekiel eat a dung. Yeah. He also made him eat shit. They was literally going to be doing that because the Lord was going to cause a famine.
Out of eating that, that's how he was able to spew the word of the Lord.
There you go, man.
Something I know it's talking about planting. It's talking to plant something in the dung and eat it. Somehow that would make him speak the Lord's word. It's towards the end of Ezekiel.
I believe it was the humility of the act.
When you mentioned the garments, I remember in the beginning of Ezekiel, he talks about the different fabrics. He say, take this fabric and that fabric, and you're going to make this. And that's when the Lord came to him. There's a rolling the heads of the lion and the bear and the claws and the wings. That's why they say Ezekiel, what he witnessed. Some people say Ezekiel really witnessed an actual expression. Right. That the way it describes it in the scriptures, it sounds like an actual church would be painted.
Right.
Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 13, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. Then said I, our Lord, power, behold, my soul hath not been polluted, for from my youth of even till now have I not eaten of that which dieth of itself, or is torn in pieces, neither came their abominable flesh into my mouth. Then said unto me, lo, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung, and thou shalt prepare thy bread therewith. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread of weights with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water, and be astonished one with another, and consume away for their iniquity.
So the Lord had him eat cow shit because the Lord was basically symbolizing how the Lord was going to bring forth a famine. He was going to cut off their food supply, and they was going to barely have just a little, where they were going to be craving more and more than what they're used to receiving. But the Lord was going to cut that short, you know, because it was time for them to get judged, you know.
Yeah, that time.
And then the next chapter is when he goes into, he told him to take a sharp knife and basically to cut his hair bald. All right, matter of fact, go to the next chapter.
Verse 5, and thou, son of man, take thee a sharp knife, take thee a barber's razor, and cause it to pass upon thy head and upon thy beard. Then take thee balance of weight.
That was our custom. We were supposed to have our beard and a head of hair, whatever. So something looked odd about you if you cut your hair bald and you shaved your face all the way. Now it's a custom. People just do it because that's the way, the American way or whatever. But that's not the right way. It was something that went with it. It was significance to it.
This was significant of what was getting ready to happen to Jerusalem.
Yep.
That's why he's having them do that. Go ahead.
Take thee a balance of weight and divide the hair. Thou shalt burn with fire a third part of the midst of the city when the days of the siege are fulfilled. And thou shalt take a third part and smite about it with a knife, and a third part that shall scatter in the wind, and I will draw out a sword after them.
So Jerusalem's going to get burnt down. Yeah. Jake is going to flee out of the city and be scattered amongst all the nations. The Lord's going to send a sword after them. So what he did with that, it was very significant. Okay? Just like when Prophet Hosea, the Lord told him to go and get with a harlot and to have children with this harlot, because that was symbolic of Israel. It was going to be at one point in time where they were going to be referred to as not his people. The Lord divorced us as a people. But then the Lord was ultimately going to have mercy upon us. So he named one of the children Lo Ami, which was
Not my people,
Lo Ami, not my people, and Lo Ruhamah is no mercy. Mercy. You know, which ultimately that's what ended up happening with Israel. We became not a people, and then later on through the sacrifice, now we're his sons again. You know. So the Most High always have physical things happen to show forth, you know, spiritual things of significance, things that represents what he's actually going to do in the spirit.
You know, and that was a direct order from the Most High, because he wouldn't obviously shave his head and shave off his beard.
Right. You're not supposed to do that.
And damn sure not as a prophet.
Kind.
Yeah, the names were let's see, yeah, let me find Leruhamah, for I will no more have mercy on the house.
No mercy.
On the house of Israel. See the next one. That was
Lo Ami is not my people. I mean.
Yeah, right here, verse 9. Then said the Most High, call his name Lo Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your God. Yep. Verse 10, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea. Here's the comforting part, right?
Kind.
He says, which cannot be measured nor numbered, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living powers. Yeah. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come out of the land, and for great shall be the day of Jezreel, you know, which is the firstborn of the Most High. Another one.
Ezekiel becomes king, right? At the end of Ezekiel. He never becomes king. They were kings of Judah during that time. Judah and Israel. His sons never become king. King during that time, he says, I'll read the first word. Ezekiel 1:1. Now it came to pass in the 13th year, in the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captivity by the river of Chebar, that the heavens were opened, and I saw a vision of the Most High. In the 5th day of the month, which is the 5th year of King Jehoiakim's captivity, the word of the Lord came expressly unto me, unto Ezekiel the priest, son of Buzzi, in the land of Chaldeans by the river Chebar, and the hand of the Lord was there upon him. So it was, Israel had kings.
We still had kings.
We're under captivity, but we still had,
we were still able to be in our land for the most part and all of that. Some of us were scattered. We still had all of those regular things, but now in this captivity, we don't have a king. Think about it. If we had a king, who would it be?
We don't even know we're people.
Right, that's what I was going to say next. We don't even know that we're all one people anyway. So who are they going to give us? Who Martin Luther King that's dead? There's nobody living that you can say, you know what? He's a good person to represent all of them. Jay-Z?
Jake will give it to LeBron, bro.
LeBron James, maybe? No. Okay, but he's dead. And it's not okay.
All of our strong leaders, they kill him.
It's dead. It's not meant for that.
God.
Because they're not strong in this.
That's right.
I think it's just it's like a ellipse, like a marathon, right? When you pass on at the time, it takes it so far, somebody gotta grab it, take it farther than ever.
But that marathon stuff, really, that's occultic. Just to be honest with you, it's the occultic message in that marathon.
Anything that
checker, the flag of his neck. He represented the left-hand agenda. A lot of our people, they'll disagree with that because they ain't emotionally tied to the dude. Since they've been putting them as a Messiah-like figure, but you know, he was put the left hand to people. He wasn't for the salvation of Israel.
No, I was just saying that because you mentioned in today's time, you're talking about today's day.
But look how all of our people's mind would be to put him up. Because we all know Jay-Z was wicked. And who did he look up to? He looked up to Jay-Z. You know, he wanted to be like Jay-Z. You know, not seeking the Lord.
You think through time, all of the organizations or so-called leaders that we have, like you referred to, it always came to naught. It never prospered here in America or anywhere. You know, like we were talking about before, we have Black Wall Street, you have Rosewood, you have all these establishments where our people set up communities, set up so-called leaders, businesses, and they thrive for a period of time, but it got shut down by the so-called white people. You understand? Yeah, we infiltrated, but at the end of the day, we're still using that money for our everyday life, their currency. Right? We don't have their currency is not backed up by anything. It's not backed up like gold, like it's supposed to be, or silver, or any precious metals.
Black Wall Street was.
Yeah.
And they knew they couldn't stop that, so what they do? They came and ambushed the city and bombed it and killed everybody.
Imagine this car right here, so-called Mexico, Cuba. So imagine if the island of Cuba had this, great society where they're thriving, they have natural energy, they got and they're thriving. They're this nation. They're people over there. They're happy. They don't have GMO foods. What would the so-called white man do?
Well, I'll tell you what he did. Embargo on the island. It's an economic move. They won't face them militarily, but they'll face them economically.
Because he can win that. Exactly. You can win that economic war without ever losing the truth. You squeeze those people on that side.
Like similar to Gaddafi as well. He wanted to create a dinar, to rise the entire continent of Africa, not just Libya.
Right.
Because Libya was one of the most prosperous countries at the time. So that threatened the US dollar. What happened next? Get him out of there.
Hillary Clinton, she sent the troops in and took him out.
And then Obama.
Under Obama's watch.
So there's really nowhere or place for our people to prosper in this world. We need a righteous rulership, and it's only going to come when Howard Shai comes back, and the elect is delivered, and then we're going to dwell in righteousness. We're going to have laws, statutes, and amendments in our inventories, so we'll never go off.
The whole world.
The whole universe.
I'll tell you, I have he sent me some information that somebody about forgiveness. He wanted me to philosophize over it, but that's a very difficult one, but okay, I'll go into it. No, it's not a scripture. There's a post I saw on I don't follow accounts on Facebook, all that stuff. It's still on it. But I mentioned, for example, depression. How do you forgive depression? You can separate yourself from depression. But this is exactly this. It's a brother named Allah. It says if you knew forgiveness was your real function and fulfilling, it would make you indescribably happy. You would give all grievances in one day, or at least move in that direction. Right? And I didn't reply right away. I'm taking it like, I don't know how to reply to that. Forgiveness, if you knew forgiveness was the real function, and that fulfilling it would make you indescribably happy. Right? So I'm like, I'll go into that with you. So take Brother Malcolm, for example. When they wanted to end segregation and they integration. Malcolm was against that. Why? Because he knew already you can't live together.
Looks like somebody get a Sirach 12.
Malcolm talked about segregation. Let us know our own nation. Black nation. It's like Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass' speech and James Earl Jones read it
Exactly.
Kaepernick repeated it right into some heat recently. Kaepernick trying to quote that. They jumped all over him again, like they did for him not standing for the flag.
Words have power.
But they don't want. But anytime it comes to the Bible, they don't want you to look up those words because those words are just they're just the face value.
Right. You gotta see the devil.
Yeah. Don't get the etymology of the word or try to look further into it and understand
let's
it in its
bring that
entirety.
Sirach 12 out. We can start around 10.
Sirach 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
This is what Malcolm understood.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, that thou be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass.
Like you'll know if you take heed to those words, you'll see him. You'll know him like you know yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look in the mirror, you know yourself when you look in the mirror, right? You know it's you. You'll know your enemy that well. If you take heed to these words. Keep going, bro.
And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
Because if you sustain the wicked for long enough, they're not gonna they can play soft and nice for only so long. Then a piece of their real self is down to manifest itself. Yeah. If you resist the devil long enough, he gonna have to show his horns at some point.
Verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he has overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
Yeah, if you let him close to you, you integrate with him, he gonna kill you instead. Hey, look at hip hop. Look at hip hop. All the rappers are like white now. Like there's so many more white rappers, but also all the white people love rap now too, right? Like you listen, they're all listening to hip hop and rap now. But look how demonic the vibration of the music is now. It's not that same X-Clan, Public Enemy message no more. They would never steal for none of that. It's not even the drug dealer Snoop Dogg weed smoking no more.
Now you popping drugs. Now you a drug.
I always took it like, I'm 35 years old. It's about 14, 2 about 9. I remember exactly like how the game changed.
They took the knowledge out that he was pushing and kept all the flash.
Politics out of it.
Yeah, and then, but kept the flash. Now they got everybody going after the flash of it.
What I recall the most was Jay-Z and Jermaine Dupri at the time came out a song called Switching Lanes, right? They talk about
money and the thing.
Yeah, talk about diamonds and money and shit. Like Pac said, shit that I don't have, how can I understand that shit? I don't have none of that shit.
Right.
I can't feel that shit.
Right.
You know? The game changed.
But when Pac dropped songs like all of the hood,
Brenda's Got a Baby.
Yeah, Brenda's Got a Baby.
Keep
My
Head Up.
Lord knows.
Lord knows.
Stuff like that. We felt all of those because we were
White Man's World.
Yep.
Who do you believe in?
On the Illuminati album, a lot of that stuff was there. We understood and felt that type of stuff.
That's what threatened him. It felt threatened. You know?
Right, but he wasn't right either, though. Let's be real about it.
I'm not saying he was.
I know, I'm saying, but
They
we saw
used
the
him too.
difference.
Yeah. All these dudes, every entertainer that come through that door, they all have been compromised.
I think Pac, in a sense, regretted it. He knew what he did and he regretted it.
Yep. Tried to clean it up.
He tried to make a U-turn and go back.
They're like, no, we're waiting here for you, buddy. Time to get you up out of here. Is there more on that script? Right?
Yes, a little bit more.
Sit him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit in thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat.
Stab you in the back. And first to get you.
Like you know, like if you got a society, not a society but a business, and you thriving, there's gonna be some Edomite, some kind of white man that's gonna try to get there, some lawyer, some Jew rat to get there and be a right hand. Show you, do it this way, or do it this way. You can save more money this way. And he may be true. He may be not lying. He might be lying about that, but his main objective is to get in your place.
Hey, Con, it was if you see I believe it was the James Brown movie.
Yeah.
And the dude that played Little Richard, yeah, he basically said yeah, it's gonna be a point in time where you're gonna feel like you're on top of the world, and there's gonna be a devil that come to you. But he ain't gonna be red, he ain't gonna have no pitchfork, he gonna be white. And he gonna give you anything that you want.
Yeah. That was a Rocky 5 also.
Okay.
No, when you get on top, somebody gonna you slide in there and be. It was the Don King character in that movie. That was the guy that did.
The scripture said the gift destroyeth the heart. So when our people, they let the so-called white man in, they give him all these gifts, mainly in the form of money and worldly things, houses, money, cars, possessions. They forget that, oh shit, he's trying to take my place. They just let him, you know what, I'm just gonna give you all the day-to-day work and I'm gonna just chill. And what happens?
They take the whole
They take the whole damn thing.
Take it away from you.
Lest he seek and take thy seat, and thou at thy last remember my words and be pricked therewith.
Always be constantly reminded. Let this always irritate you. Be constantly reminded you that the enemy is going to try to come and get you. He wouldn't bother with you if he wasn't making no real noise. If he wasn't really making no real money, making no real progress as far as something greater in life.
He wouldn't mess with these people right here on the side if we weren't the salt of the earth. If we were just heathens and we didn't have intellect, we didn't have style, we didn't have rhythm, we weren't the best of damn near everything, they wouldn't give a shit about us. They would look for that. They wouldn't bother us. They wouldn't even oppress us that bad. But we're the salt of the earth, so they're going to use us as much as they can. You know,
Lupe's
really believe it.
Lupe's dumbing down.
Yeah, have our people really believing that, you know, they have you in their
Yeah, Lupe be asking dumb it down.
I got a quick story. It's Sirach 14 and verse 7. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness.
racism is a white problem. That's why he wanted to separate both races. So I can't forgive you too much. I want to start my own. I want to get away from it. That's why I told my boy to answer the question. Forgiveness. It's cool. I can forgive you. But I have the decision after I know you're wicked. It's my decision to know how am I going to handle it. Your fellow brother, you know, these other heathen nations are not under the same laws and statutes that we are. So they're not deserving of forgiveness.
The Lord is not going to forgive them.
Yeah, that's how I feel. You know, I may forgive you, maybe, but I'm for sure gonna get the fuck away from you. Excuse my language. I'm gonna get away from you. That's my decision. After knowing
Isaiah 14:1.
you're not good to be around, I'm getting away from you. I don't want nothing to do. And it's easier, if I was to forgive, it's easier to do it that way. But I'm not going to stay by next to you and let you keep offending me, so I have to continue to forgive you over and over and over. No, I ain't going to do that.
Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
That's who he's going to have mercy on.
And I will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
And we're going to take these heathen nations. When the Lord delivers us out of this captivity, when we go back home, we're going to go and gather up all the nations that are left, the remnants of those that are preserved in these different countries, foreign to America. And this is what the scriptures say. Go ahead.
And bring them in their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
That's what we're going to do. Okay? So there's no forgiveness for them. They got to go right into
I didn't know how to answer that, so I'm like, I don't agree with that, man. Nobody, not everybody's deserving of forgiveness.
Yeah. Right. You still
That was a point.
Okay, because when a woman cheat on us or something like that, or somebody do something messed up, your boy do something messed up to you, you don't really feel right with just letting it go. You kind of want some payback, right? Oh, somebody gets Thessalonians.
Right, I got something, boy.
The one and 6, Thessalonians.
This is Sirach.
I know talking about.
Sirach chapter 5 at verse. Sirach chapter 5 and verse 4, it says, "Say not, I have sinned, what harm have happened unto me? For the Lord is long suffering, he will in no wise let thee go. Concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin, and say not, his mercy is great. He will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation resteth upon sinners." So he has mercy. The Lord knows when to extend his mercy, and he knows when to withdraw that mercy.
Kind of like the scripture said, I have mercy on whom I have mercy. No, I have compassion on whom I have compassion.
Where can I follow you guys at, man? You got a YouTube channel? Where's the YouTube channel, man?
GMS.
Let me read the script. The 2 Thessalonians 1:6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
Payback. We can just use payback. Yeah. Let me read that in Exodus.
Oh yeah, that's good.
24, 23.
This is Exodus chapter 21, verse 23. "And if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe."
That's good. Payback is balance, fair. They say when they try to throw that out there, two wrongs don't make it right. But it does make it right. It makes us even. That's really how you feel about it. That's a righteous thing to pay somebody back, but don't go overboard with what they did, but just pay them back the same measure that it happened to you.
Yo, that turn the other cheeks though, that's the New Testament?
That's among believers and brothers.
Yeah.
That's not among other people. That's if I offend this man,
amongst y'all, I got you.
If I do something to him, like I'm just using that as an example. If he do something to me and I don't know him, I can pay him. I can do what he did to me. But if he do something, I can pray for him and be like, "It's fine, bro. Don't even worry about it." You know, I'm all right. I'm gonna forgive even 7 times 7.
And that's if that brother asks for forgiveness.
Yeah.
We're supposed to forgive each other as brothers. You know, you're your brother's keeper, you know.
Hey man, what's the YouTube channel?
Yeah.
GMS, you got your phone up? Oh, yeah, take your phone. Then go on YouTube, type in GMS. Oh, Connie, you really got it right there.
And what you were saying, that payback, that's balance. The Heavenly Father is all about balance. He's not going to let one nation just ride on another nation and not let them get that recompense. It's balance. So the nations did this to us. You know, the Latino tribes also, the slavery, the oppression, all of that. So it's going to be a recompense for that. All right, in the kingdom of heaven, they sold our people into slavery, beat us, raped, robbed us, fed our children to alligators. The Northern Kingdom, the Latinos also. That was sold into slavery. You had the conquistadors, the Spanish. They came down there, and that's why
they're feeding our children to dogs.
Yeah.
Cutting their heads off, the Northern Kingdom's heads off, kicking them around. That's when the game soccer, football.
Yeah. This is Proverbs.
Over there in Cuba, all the plantations, they stole that and put you in slavery on your own land.
Puerto Rico now, they got Monsanto right up most of the island.
The devil that raped all their resources.
That's their land. Yeah. And y'all be out the same spot all the time?
Every Sunday, after 2:30.
Lord will.
Yeah, man, Jake.
All the bullshit that went on, that's what it is. Really coming and understanding nothing, you know. That's all.
These are what they are doing. Yeah, man.
Pick it up, go for drugs. What you gonna do? On the zip line.
I got the Hoy connect of you people.
They was talking about they had a earthquake drill at my job today. Talking about the earthquake and saying it's all right. It shouldn't. The news says it ain't gonna be another one. There's if it is one, it's gonna be a small one. It's a very small chance.
He said 5% chance.
Yeah, 5% chance of anything happening. I told them this shit is about to go down.
They think they got the both sides just
Yeah, figured out, bro.
Yeah, it's fake ass wise.
Yeah.
Right? This shit is about to go down.
Say if prophets say should be peace, there is no peace.
That shall those prophets be consumed.
Yeah, I believe
It's Jeremiah 6.
He said there should be no famine,
Yeah.
there should be no sword.
I think that's 16.
By the sword and by famine shall that prophet be
And on
visited.
on the news last night where they were like, the lady, all the news or whatever was talking, and she even looked up and said she's probably talking it's like, what is it, 2012 or whatever. It's like everything will be fine, the roofs is open, and all the shit. That's exactly how it's going to happen.
The thing I love about the earthquakes is Esau thinks he has control of everything. He has everything figured out. He can't predict when these are going to happen. They just happen when the Most High snaps his finger or whatever. And you can't control it. Esau can control everything. They think they can control everything, but they can't control this ground from moving and shaking. It's beautiful. It's beautiful the times that we're coming into.
We're gonna look at the second Genesis 16. Where it says, your victual shall be
Good people on earth.
that you shall think to be of good case.
Yeah. That's
But
what
then,
17, right up to 19.
Yeah, this is 2nd Ezra 16 and 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good chief upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
Go on to verse 13.
Yes, this is 2nd Ezra. 16 and 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges of amendments.
For a man supposed to use to correct you. You're supposed to have, after an earthquake like that, you're supposed to, church should be packed today. Church should be packed today. Not that they're teaching something, but people should have some form. We should have been packed. Everybody handling the Bible should have been packed today. It should have been full to the capacity. The crowd should be spilling over into the streets. You know what I mean? But people don't have fear. Yeah, trying to figure out what's going on.
But nobody has fear. Not most people have fear.
That's why the street is.
Prime example was that missile scare they had in Hawaii.
Yeah.
People were shook. People were going down in the sewers trying to escape the destruction. What happened after that? It was a false alarm, and everyone returned back to their folly and
As
to
soon
their
as they
wickedness.
heard it was a false alarm.
Yeah.
They didn't even know for a fact if it was real or not.
Our brother
Soon as they
Hawaii
seen it,
went live.
Oh, he went live.
That brother got like
3,000
Views
views.
at once.
Yeah.
all in one day. Yeah,
I screenshotted that.
Yeah. Yep. I got one is at Sirach 11:27. The affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasures, and in his end his deed shall be discovered.
Gone.
The Most High is going. He gonna fuck everybody's moves up, man. Everybody's vibe in America, man. That shit is going. He gonna cut that shit.
Lord willing to come on one of these wicked ass holidays too, man.
Yeah.
Hope it come between Christmas and New Year's Eve, man. That'd be beautiful.
For real. Right while the ball is dropping. Fucking pistol is coming. Yeah, I got anything else now we can close out. Alright, so with that, we're gonna give all praises to Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash.
Shabbat to the elder apostles of the great millstone, and peace and blessings to the tabernacle of David, those for elect. We're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.